Okay, everybody, welcome to the Monday group call. I am Kevin T. Robertson, CEO of SpeakerFocus.com. I am here poolside trying to get my view right, and we are ready to go all the way in with answering any and every question pertaining to growing your speaker business. I simply must be outside. It is a beautiful evening, and there's no way I'm sitting inside the hotel where it's freezing cold in there. So I got to give me some fresh air. It's been a long day of productive calls. We're getting ready to go in right away. I do apologize for the delay. Let me see who has their hand raised already, and I will get right to you. You know what the drill is. If you have a question, please use the raise hand feature, and I will get right to you. I don't see any hands up yet, but I do see, wait a minute, I do see a couple questions in the Q&A. Hey, Keith Copeland, what's going on, brother? I see you, but I don't hear you yet. Okay, all right, I'm here. Oh, okay. Ed said, how long? I missed it. How long did the speaker demo be? Your speaker video demo, Ed, should be 3 to 5 minutes in length. If you want to make it a little longer, you can, but 3 to 5 minutes is all you need. All you need to do is hit them with a little bit of razzle dazzle, and that should be more than sufficient in order to get you where you need to be. So, speaker info kits should be 16 to 20 pages in length. You should do a very, very, very elaborate job for your speaker info kit, breaking down all of the things that you offer. So that's okay, Michelle. If your speaker video demo was almost 8 minutes, that's okay. I said about 3 to 5 minutes is like a sizzle reel. If you want to give them a little bit more, that's cool. As long as it has value and as long as it's put together. My new speaker video demo is going for a different target audience, so it's probably going to be a little longer than 3 to 5 minutes. I will have a shorter version and I'll have a longer version. You know, look at it as you can put together like a mini movie to tell about your background, your life story if you want to. But for a basic speaker video demo, they just need to get a great understanding of what it is that you're doing and what your company is all about, what you offer, who are you, what do you do, how does it benefit them? If you can answer that in all your marketing collateral, you'll be good to go, and all of your sales tools. All right, now, let's see. Let me see, another question. Okay, no problem, Ed. My pleasure. Okay, nobody else has anything else in the chat box. 7 more. Wait a minute. Let me check the other chat box. Those are direct. Okay, let me check the direct messages. Yeah, exactly, Anita. I was trying to get comfortable. I was trying to sit down poolside, but it just wasn't working for me. I just had to grab the cabana box that has towels in it, and I just put it up on that. You know what? I gotta make do with whatever I have available. Yeah, definitely. Look, we're going all the way in tonight. I love Monday group calls because you get a chance to build up a lot of stuff throughout the week. I get a chance to see support tickets. You know, people just keep growing more and more on this platform every single week. Okay, we got, Lisa's from San Francisco. Yeah, I finally got a chance to put on some shorts and some sunscreen today. Good, Lisa. I'm glad you're enjoying San Francisco. It's important as you travel and you tour the world that you get a chance to get out and see things. I'm at a hotel right now. I'm in the North Carolina, South Carolina area this week, and I just I get tired of being in the room. You know, I want to be outside. I want to be by the pool. I want to take in some of the scenery that they have. They got a real nice fire pit out here. I'm gonna be chilling out there a little bit later, and you know, I'm gonna give me some laps in probably before I go to bed. It's been a long day. Now, Ed, hello from New Hampshire. I love it when y'all give me the shout outs. It just makes me feel so special that you're from all over the world. And okay, we got Anita waving as well. Hey, Anita, how are you? Keith, what's going on, brother? All right. I love it when people show up for the group calls. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because if you can spread the word. Those who do not make the group call, you're missing out. Because there's some breakthroughs that happen every single week. There's some things I cover every week. I explain things the same way, but in a different way. And there are people. See, I go by the energy. I go by the energy of the people. And this is about serving other people. And hey, Dr. J, I miss you, Dr. J. So I go by the energy of the people. Whatever the people need, that's what we're gonna talk about. So let me see. Let me see if I got some hands raised yet. If you got questions, oh, there we go. We got Keith, Anita, and Jonathan. In that order, gentlemen, you know, on the first call, got Norma, Chappelle as well. So gentlemen, if you don't mind, ladies are always first on this platform. I will get to Anita first, Norma, Keith, I see you up there in the chat box first, and then Jonathan, I'll be right with you, gentlemen. Your patience is most appreciated. Anita, you're up first with KTR. Louder talk. Anita, talk to me. How are you tonight?
Hey, I am doing my best. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's about 72 degrees where I am. Well, no, it's probably like 76. It's like really, really nice out here. Nice, cool breeze blowing. It has been a really, really productive day. As always, Mondays are my hardest day. I like them. I'm challenged with a full schedule, and then we go right into the group call. And then I started out my day having a power meeting with Big Ben from Big Ben's Desserts in Spartanburg, South Carolina, one of our top coaching students.
Wow.
Ben has won the top 40 under 40 award. He played NFL Europe. He played in the NFL. He's a superstar at Clemson University in South Carolina, and he's just a inspiration. And I had a really great meeting with him. We're going to be doing a tour date together on the 1st of January, so I'm really excited about that. Started out the day super early, met with Ben really early, about 6 a.m., and I've been rolling ever since. So I'm ready.
Oh, well, congrats. Oh, you got a lot going on. I started early too. So yeah. I guess I kind of had a lot going on. I just been really busy trying to get you my final everything, but I think it's just going kind of slow because I had to find me a graphic designer to do my branding and stuff. And then I had to wait on my photos from my photographer. So it's coming. I know I haven't submitted anything for a while, but it's only because it's been a slow process with me getting all this stuff together. I finally got approved for my business name through the Georgia Secretary of State.
Yes.
My EIN and everything. So I'm not sure if this is a question for you. It might be a question for you or Auston if he's here. But my question is, for the web service that he said that is best to use, I'm gonna go ahead and use that instead of Wix. But I wanted to know, with that, can we get creative? Because I know you said, the background, not the background. I think he said that there's a format that's already there. So I wanted to know if I can insert my own tabs and my own background designs, or what, however I want to fix it up. Is there a way for me to fix it up, even though you have a format for the web design that's already being provided?
Well, the template that we provide on the speakerfocus.com platform is for Webflow. So you're going to have to submit a support ticket. Unfortunately, Austin's not on the call tonight. So he's in the process of moving. So he's a little out of pop. But if you submit a support ticket, him and the support team can get to it. Just be real specific about if you're using Webflow, if you're going to use Wix or your own web designer. I'm sure there's something you can do with changing the themes to the template. Mm-hmm. But the template that they have set up is set up on a nice white background, so it looks super professional. But if you're looking to do some more, just send them over a question and ask them, how do you do that? Tell them what you're looking to do. Be real specific when you send over the question to support@speakerfocus.com, and they'll give you some feedback to point you in the right direction.
Okay. All right. I think that's basically all I wanted to know, is if I can kind of mess around with it. So I guess I'll just send him the support ticket. I thought he would be on today. So I was saving my questions today, because sometimes I just feel like maybe when I write or text, it just doesn't express enough.
Okay.
So I wanted to come on here, but I can send a support ticket.
Yeah, try to as much as you can. Just try to be as detailed as possible. And, perhaps probably by the time next week rolls around, he will be available. But like I said, he sent me a message. I just told him, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and focus on what he has to do. Okay. And if any questions pop up that's out of my pay grade, then I will go ahead and have them submit a support ticket like I'm requesting you to do. And Nita, I want to address something else too, because you said, you know, I'm getting things together. And the most important thing that you said was that you're working on it. And that's really what matters the most is it's okay if you go slow, because this is why this is a self-paced course. But what's important is that you're actually doing the work. And that's the main thing, is that you're following the system, you're reaching out to your graphic designer, you're asking questions. The people that ask the most questions on this platform, they get the most out of the program. So anyway, with that being said, was that did you have any other questions?
Oh, no, that was it. I just wanted to know if, you know, just that particular question, because I wanted to get a little more creative. So like I just stated, you know, it's taking a little time because I'm paying other people like with the graphic design. I'm going to use the Webflow. I just wanted to see how creative I could be with the Webflow website and use the templates. And I think that's basically it. And like I said, I had to, last week, I went and got some pictures done. I had to wait on the photos, and now I'm having to wait on the design, and I got to approve all of that for my brand. So I'm just excited. I just can't wait to get up and running, because, you know, this is my first time doing this, the speaker, you know, the speaking. Even though I haven't spoken before, to actually do it and get paid for it is something different for me. So I'm doing my best to follow you know, the instructions that you have laid out for us to get everything set up.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You know, it's really about making sure that you put the effort in every single week. And as you're seeing that your speaker business keeps growing, the more effort that you put into it. So with that being said, make sure that you just keep doing a great job, because you're putting in the effort and you're getting the results. And that's what this is all about. Eventually, you're going to look up one day and you're going to be ready to go to market, and you're going to start reaching out to these conference coordinators or the meeting planners, and your speaker business is going to be everything you want it to be. This is a slow walk. It's a marathon, remember.
Yes, and I think it's all about just me being patient, and I'm learning that more and more patience. I don't know what it is about the birth of me always wanting things right now, but you know, I've learned to take it much slower, because when you're patient, great things and good things come to you. So I'm being patient, and I do appreciate all that you do, you and Auston, and keep on and continuing to do what you do, because we love it here.
Thank you so much, and we love you back. You keep working hard, and we're going to get there together. How about that?
I love it.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Remember, don't forget to submit that support ticket. I know things come out differently when you verbalize them, but we also got to be good at verbalizing things through written communication as well. I can't tell you how much time Auston saved just by managing things in our Slack project management software, and just going back and forth with messages. And then this is the reason of the support, is because we can actually serve everybody on a higher level, instead of everybody having to talk to me. And obviously you can show up on a group call, ask me as many questions as you like, and you can talk to me for as long as you want for the time that we have. But when you submit your support ticket, not only can you do it every single day, but then we can break it down in detail with the type of detailed answers that we provide. And if it's something you don't understand, we can just keep going back and forth until we get it right. And typically about you know, once or twice is enough to be able to say, okay, I'm headed in the right direction, and we can point you to where the resource is, or we can answer the question. If it's something you're cloudy on, we can clarify. And that's what this is all about. This learning experience is something that has never been created before in the history of the speaker coaching industry. And we're proud to be able to provide it, because we know what kind of results that people get. That's why people show up with a new testimonial every single Monday on the group call, and they're always sending in videos and stuff saying how much they appreciate the learning experience, because it is very unique and there's nothing out there in the marketplace like it. I can't help it because people don't have the guts enough to just be real with you and just tell it to you like it is. When you're messing up, I need to tell you you're messing up. If you're dragging your ass, I need to light a fire up under it. If you're not turning in your homework, I need to say, how come you're not turning in the homework? If you want to be a speaker, let's be a speaker, right? If you want to grow your business, then let's grow it. You're doing all the right steps. It may appear to be going slow, but at least it's going. And that's all that matters. You remember that, okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
I sure will. You do the same.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, let me see. All right. The next person up. I thought I had more people with their hands raised. What happened to Jonathan King? What happened to Okay, I guess they didn't have. Jonathan, if you have a question, please come back into the chat. I thought I saw Michelle with her hand raised as well. Okay, Michelle has her hand back. Norma is next, and then Michelle, I'll be right with you. Allowed to talk. Jonathan, if you're still there and you still got your Keith Copeland. Okay, Keith, you got your hand raised. Please keep the hands raised because I want to make sure I get to you. Jonathan, I thought I saw your hand raised as well. And I definitely appreciate your patience, gentlemen. Okay, Norma, are you with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, hi Norma, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Poolside, I'm chilling. I'm just winding down the evening, just enjoying myself, having a great day. Everything going okay for you?
Yeah, everything's going fine. I'm just so glad that you and Austin put up that new what was it you put up last week where we can
Oh, you mean when we upgraded the platform, integrated school in to be able to ask the questions and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, where it says when you finish it, then you can say I'm done and you can see where you are.
Yes, in the program. Yep.
In the program. And
Yeah.
I was so far behind, I thought. And when I started, going back through the program, I went through the whole thing again, pretty much.
Yep.
And now I'm like 75%. And that's just where I am right now, but I'm further than that.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that, that I can see my progress.
Yeah. Listen, just like you're putting in work and what me and Austin do 12, 14, and 16-hour days with our team and working around the clock sometimes is creating the best learning experience possible. We want that to be the same thing for your clients that you have to service. And you can't just keep your business model the same all the time. That's why I keep telling everybody on the group calls as I'm answering these support tickets every single day, as the market shifts, as it has done throughout the pandemic, you've got to upgrade your marketing language. You got to stay within yourself, but keep up with the times of what's happening in the global workforce. And the pandemic has caused a mental health crisis and things of that nature. So we all have to keep up. If you want to stay competitive, you have to keep staying up. There's other people out there that's in the gym that go hard, just like me and Austin. Even though we make it really difficult for them to duplicate what it is that we do and the way we deliver it, that's called market differentiation. These are things that you want to have with your speaker business. You want to make it hard on every other speaker. I love it when they I love it when I'm on a panel with 10 other speakers. I love it when I'm on a program with 25 other speakers. I love it. I love it when they dare not put me on first because I'm a tough act to follow. What you want to do is you want to put me on last. You want to put me on last because when I bring the pain, I'm going to embarrass everybody. To me, it's like a rap battle. That's what it is. It's competitive. Make no mistake about it. This is why you can't be all buddy-buddy with these speakers. These speakers are not your friends. As soon as they find out that you're doing it on a whole nother level, they want to find out where you got that information from. So you got to stay up to speed with your brand. And we're showing you that on Speaker Focus. Oh, I'm number one. Okay, I'm number one. Great. But you want to stay number one? And that means we got to keep innovating. So you can expect more changes on the platform. More changes are coming before the end of the year and at the beginning of the year to create easier transitions in and out of the modules. Some things that I feel, and we test this stuff every single day. Some things I feel like the students don't need, or I can improve the curriculum. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to make the videos better. I'm going to create all new videos for the speakerfocus.com platform. Every single module, I'm going to re-record every last one of them and make them better. That's the kind of trainer that I am. And that's the kind of person that you invested in with Auston Troyer and Kevin T. Robertson. You got my word on it when I told you that we were going to onboard you, that we were going to bust our ass and work hard for you. And ain't nothing changed. What's your question, Norma? Or you just had a comment?
I have two questions.
Yes, ma'am. I'm all ears.
In my Speaker Focus kit, when I look at your material, you have your phone number and your email, I think it is.
Email address, telephone number, and business address is in there.
But I've been seeing two. So that's what I have. So I was wondering, do I need to put all three? Because I got my email, my business phone, and my website. So I put all three on each thing that represents me. Okay,
the business address is optional, but I'd recommend you want people to get in contact with you. The reason why the website, email address, telephone number, and business address is on every page of the speaker info kit is because they may print those pages out individually. See, this is the purpose of a speaker info kit. They may just want to print out your bio and take it into the meeting. It's still some old school people that love the printer. New school coordinators, they're going to bring in the tablet or they're going to bring in their laptop. They're going to pull it up from there. But some people like to print the document out. And that's the reason why you have a PDF format on your website, because when you try to print out a web page, it always is out of alignment. When you print out a page in a PDF format, it's going to print out on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. They're going to take that into the committee meeting with them, and they're going to share that, whether or not it's on their desktop, whether or not they print it out or whatever. That's the reason to have those documents there. And if they do decide to print out one of those pages, let's say you only got the address on the back page and they don't print the back page out. You want to make it easy to do business with you. And that's the reason why the address and all the other contact information is at the bottom.
Okay. Now I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when I was in the workforce, I knew how to do PowerPoint.
Okay.
I don't know how to do PowerPoint anymore. And
well, let's not say you don't know how to do it. Let's not say you don't know how to do it. Maybe you just haven't done it in a while. So what don't you understand about PowerPoint?
I don't know how to put it on the screen. I looked at you. I was saying, okay, I'm just gonna talk. But then when I saw you do a presentation, you had the whole PowerPoint screen behind you, and it looked really good. So I said, I got to do that. That's what I got to do, because everybody's got to be able to see it.
Okay, what are you referencing? Is this something inside of the modules that you saw, or you saw one of my YouTube videos? What are you talking about when you saw me? When you saw a screen behind?
Yeah, you had a screen that you were using. I thought it was PowerPoint. So my question is, how do you do PowerPoint and put it on a screen?
Okay, you put okay. So when you so your issue is not with the actual PowerPoint design, because you actually technically you do know how to use PowerPoint. You know how to go in, you know how to add images, you know how to add text, change the size of the text, do editing, right? Render it out as a PDF document, or just keep it as a PowerPoint slide. So when you go to it's gonna hit start show or either view, and you're gonna hit start slides or start presentation. So when you start that is gonna come from your computer. Either some kind of cord is going to plug into the LCD projector, and the projector is going to project your slide up on the screen. That's how that works.
So I'm being the speaker. So do I have somebody in the background changing the screen? No,
you're going to use a pointer. You're going to have a pointer in your hand. I take 2 pointers with me and backup batteries. And I don't go cheap on my pointers. I think one of my pointers costs almost $200. I get the best whatever I can get, because what you're going to do is you're going to advance the slides with your pointer. So as you're giving your presentation, I typically have a lavalier microphone on, and then I have the pointer in my hand, and that advances the slides. I can go back, I can go forward, I can put the red dot on there to make a point if I want to point to something. All kinds of stuff. I can blacken out the screen. I can go back to the home screen. Whatever I want to do, I could do it right there from the pointer. It's all wireless too. You can just plug it into the USB. If you have a laptop, let's say you have a laptop that's Windows, then you can plug in the memory stick right there on the side of the laptop. If you have a MacBook Pro, then you have to get an adapter to plug in your memory stick there, and then you can advance the slides like that once you get in presentation mode. But the LCD projector is what projects the image from your slides up on the screen. You got it?
But you're talking about doing it on a laptop, but I mean like a big screen, like a big screen.
You talking about like a jumbotron screen when you give your presentation. When you go to a big venue and you see the big screen, well, Norma, how do you think the PowerPoint presentation gets up on the screen? You got to run it through your laptop first, through the LCD projector. That's what projects it up on the screen. That's how that works. You should do some research on it. Research how to make your PowerPoint presentation work on a projection screen, and you'll be able to see how they hook up the whole thing.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's my question.
No problem. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Okie doke. Okay, we're going to get to our next person. Keith Copeland, you're next. Talk to me, Keith. Jonathan
Hey,
King.
KTR, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Jonathan, if you have a question you want to ask, or Jonathan might have put it in the chat box. Wait a minute. Keith, give me a quick second. Let me check.
I put mine in the chat
Yes.
box as well.
Got it. Okay, all right. And I missed it. Okay. I think we were doing, signature program wrong. I should have put the program first, the bullets, then the paragraph on the program. Okay. All right, now, okay, Keith, let's get these things straight about your messaging, because you definitely, the way you submitted it, it was incomplete. So talk to me about what part you're not understanding with the signature program submission template.
Well, I think I have a better understanding now, because what I did is I printed everything out and I put it on the table. And then when I looked at it, and I looked at the template, and I looked at what I had done, and I saw that, okay, it's out of order.
Correct.
So now that I did that, I'm going to resubmit it now and put it in the order that you had it. In addition, you told me that my branding draft looked good, but go ahead and incorporate it into the entire signature-based program. And I think I understand that. So I'm gonna also add that to the signature programs today, and then I'll resubmit it. But I believe I found where the hiccup was.
Okay, we don't want to think, we want to know for sure.
Well, I won't until I submit it back to you, and then you tell me a yay or nay.
No. Watch this, because we're going to get it straight right now. Okay.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So do you have your signature program template in front of you?
I do.
Okay. Now watch this. So what you had when you submitted it, your mainstay headline was fire. I loved it.
Right.
Keith, you know leadership like the back of your hand. We're not even worried about that with you. You have great content. You got great ideas, ideology, and an approach to leadership.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I call it like I see it. If you're doing great, I'm gonna give you an A+. If you're horrible, I'm giving you an F, not an A. So now, so let's say what we did wrong. It was just incomplete. Let's just say that. You had great ideas. The content was strong. So now you're looking at the signature program template. Tell me what the first thing you see. You should see mainstay headline at the top.
Mainstay headline. Yes, sir.
What is your mainstay headline?
Leadership techniques that build success.
I love it. Okay, next, what you should see under the mainstay headline is you should have all 4 of your signature programs, and it should be 3 bullets that would go along with each of the signature programs. So what are the titles to your 4 signature programs in a row, in order?
Ascension-based leadership, potential-based leadership.
Love it more.
Essential-based leadership.
Fire.
Comprehensive-based leadership.
My man. Okay, now we got the 4 signature programs. Now, Keith, yes or no, do you have bullets do you have 3 bullets under each one of those signature programs? Yes or no?
Yes.
You're looking at those bullets right now. Read me one of the bullets from Ascension-based leadership, please.
All right, that first one. Know the different levels of leadership and how they work.
Okay, that's acceptable. Know the different levels of leadership and how they work. I'd say understand the different levels of leadership. Understand how. Let me see.
I had understand, but I changed it.
Yeah, I like how-tos.
Okay.
Understand how to deliver the blank, blank, blank of leadership and how they work. Something like that. Little nuances. Remember, simple, practical application strategies, how-to techniques, tips, tools, strategies, steps, pillars, all that kind of stuff is what you're doing to give the value. Okay, I can live with that bullet. Your bullet flows, and it's not horrible. Okay, read just random. Read me one of the other bullets from somewhere else real quick, and we'll move on to the next section.
Okay, under potential-based leadership, understand how to cultivate your current leadership level. Okay,
Keith, who do you think you're dealing with? How many times are you going to use the word understand? How many times have you used the word understand to start your bullet out? If you did, those are word redundancies. That is not acceptable. Change it before you send it over, please.
I've only used it twice because I did make those changes when I noticed that I was using it too many times.
Okay.
So now I only have it 2 times.
There you go. Okay, 2 is okay. 3 is unacceptable. Please, no word redundancies. Okay, now it seems you seem to be on the right track, and I'll go over it all with a fine-tooth comb when you send it over. Now, first section, you have your mainstay headline, 4 signature programs with the 3 bullets under each signature program. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, you already turned in your bio, I believe. It should be 8 different paragraphs. Did I approve the bio already?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so your bio's fire, no problem. Now, the next thing should be, now each one of the signature programs are getting broken out individually. What you left out before is the opening paragraph, and then under it, you should have had, after this program, you will be able to, and then 5 bullets under each one of the opening paragraphs. Have you done that, yes or no?
No, that's what I did not understand.
Yes. Okay. This is why I just went over with you with a fine-tooth comb. See, I'm America's leading focus expert, Keith. I can see what you're doing up here. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I see the template. I know it like the back of my hand. This is why you got to become good at designing curriculum. So you go in sequential order and don't leave anything out. Now, Keith, what you did was, this is what I was telling you. You had an opening paragraph, I believe. You copy and pasted it from the template for the signature programs, and then you just put it in there 4 times as like a placeholder. Now what you got to do is create an opening paragraph. So Keith, yes or no, have you created one original opening paragraph?
I have an original sentence.
Okay, that means no. So Keith, let's just do it right now. Let me help you out with the opening paragraph right now, and then watch this. After this program, you will be able to, you got to come up with 5 different bullets that do not duplicate from the signature program page of the ones that you choose. You see? Now,
I understand that now. Yes.
Now remember, Keith, follow the formula that I have inside the signature program template. Please do not deviate from it. Now, what is your first opening paragraph that you want me to help you out with?
Okay, so under the ascension-based leadership, as you said, I said, this team building and educational-based program is designed to help you succeed in the next phase of transformational growth to enhance their leadership development. In this program, you will learn the key essential levels and definitions of leadership and how to apply them successfully to climb the leadership ladder in your organization for positive results.
Okay, Keith, it sounds like you modified what was there in the template a little bit.
Yes.
Yes, the beginning sounds like I wrote it. The end of it sounds like you started to get the hang of it, but it was flowing and it was dope. I would accept it just like that, no problem. Now, since that one sounds like it's on point, you're moving in the right direction, there's no need for me to create the other ones for you, because now you're going in the right direction.
Okay.
So remember, stick to the subject of all of your signature programs. The bullets must match the title, and the title must reinforce the bullets. Stay on topic. Ascension, potential, and all the other ones. Make sure you talk about what it takes to ascend to the top in leadership and what it's like to maintain a high level of leadership. You know what winning is, Keith, and greatness. You know about all of that. You're a coach. You know that like the back of your hand. So once you finish the opening paragraphs and after this program and the 5 bullets under each one of those 4 signature program breakouts, send it over to me, and then we'll approve your signature programs, get on the other side of it, and start working on your sales tools. All right?
Yes, sir.
Keith, this is why you show up for the group calls. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Because I can clear it up for you, do a screen share, anything you need. Just let us know. You're doing a great job, brother.
Thank you. I have one other quick question. You had mentioned in my branding draft to go ahead and implement the ideology, methodology, code, and all within the signature program. What did you, when you say that, what do you mean when you say that? Okay,
you already did it, because what you did was you took elements from the branding document. Like I like what you did, because you basically took the formula. It was like it was the signature program worksheet that went with the video. You kind of took elements from that, and it looks like you just start putting ideas down. And then you took the ideas, and now I saw that you actually took from that document and start putting them in your headlines, topics, titles, and descriptions. That's what I meant.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, incorporate. You see, your brand is your ideology and your approach, Keith, the way you feel about leadership, the way you look at leadership, the way you teach leadership, your facilitation skills, all of that kind of stuff. And I knew that was at a very high level on the very first call that we had together. So you're moving in the right direction, brother. It's powerful what you got there. You got some great verbiage there, and that's what counts. Remember, this is the foundation of building your entire speaker career. And when you lay the foundation the right way, you're going to be going in the right direction, man. Because I'm telling you right now, the verbiage is what gets you the money, bro.
Got you.
Don't forget that. All right.
Yes, sir.
And don't be afraid to upgrade your signature programs. When your business starts growing, or you feel like you need to write another signature program, write it. You don't have to keep 4. You can interchange them, you can customize them, you can keep building as you're growing, as your vision. Right. You should be writing all this stuff down. Don't just say, oh, I got my 4 signature programs and I'm chilling. No, keep writing. And keep
that's what I was
writing.
That's what I had believed in. I just wanted to get these first 4, then I was going to add to it later. But I wanted to get the first 4 right.
I got you. Well, you're moving in the right direction now. Keith, let me ask you a question before I go to the next person. And yes, I appreciate everybody's patience. I want you to think about this question I'm ready to ask you. What is the number one reason why you think I get $50,000 for a keynote just for 1 hour of my time?
Well, as you said in your videos, because you outgrind and out hustle and research and study, so you become very prolific in it. But at the same time, the messaging that you put out is what draws them to say, hey, there's something different about him than everybody else. Okay.
So what is that skill that you feel like I possess that allows me to command that kind of money? What is that?
Discipline and research.
Say it again.
Discipline and research.
Okay. I mean, I would agree with that. That's definitely a part of it. But Keith, let me help you out. If you had to take away every skill I had, and God himself came down and said, Kevin, you can keep one, without even thinking about it before he could finish the question, I say the ability to write copy. That is the number one skill you need, brother, to make money in this new digital marketing era that we're in. If you cannot draw people to your brand, if you can't get them interested through words, you can forget it.
Okay.
And that is the reason why we cover copywriting in module number 1, and we get your messaging done first, because without that, you aren't going anywhere. Keith, I told you, bro, the people that's all about that fluffy motivational bullshit, they're going to be in for a rude awakening when they get into the market. Our students, they survive, they thrive, they get the lion's share of the bigger revenue that's coming, because the training industry is absolutely exploding, because you can deliver these services online right now. All that fluffy and hypey stuff is over. The day of the fluffy speaker is dead, brother. The facilitators and the trainers and the teachers are taking over. And that's the reason why you got to be real good at writing copy. You got it?
Roger that. Yes, sir.
Great job, Keith. Look forward to your submission, and I'll talk to you real soon. All right.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right, boss. Yes, sir. Very welcome. Okay. Let me see. Lower hand. All right, I'm getting back. Jonathan, I saw Jonathan put a question up or something. I'm coming to the rest of the people right now. Let me see. Remove permission to talk with Keith. I'm gonna go to Michelle Arnold is next, and Jonathan, you are right after her. Ramon and Rafa, I will be with you right after I talk to Michelle. Michelle, how are you this evening? Okay. Hey, Michelle, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm unmuted now. So I just have two reports and a question. So since last week, I have a friend of mine who is retiring next August, and he asked me to be a keynote speaker at his retirement ceremony. So I'm super excited about that.
Okay.
I've also had someone ask me to put together a speaker's workshop for teens and tweens next summer. I said, well, let me think about that one. I mean, not that I probably can't do it, but I just want to think about it before I commit to doing it.
Okay.
And so I'm excited about that. I'm nervous, I won't lie, about your feedback on my video, because it took me 10 tries to get that thing right.
I know. Michelle, you sent it to me. I definitely got to take a look at it. I definitely got it. And I'll give you some feedback on it by tomorrow morning. How's that sound?
That's good, but you can take your time. We're not in a rush. So which is interesting, because I can talk. Well, I hit that record button, I can talk, but for some strange reason, trying to record that little piece, it was so hard.
And that was like the practice video for your signature programs?
Right.
Okay.
Right. And so my question for you is a friend of mine, I think it was like last Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
had sent me an inbox message on Instagram. He said, I love watching your videos that you put up, and I follow your YouTube channel. So I said, well, thank you. And he asked me, had I ever thought about doing TED Talk or TEDx? And he was saying how that's a great way to meet conference coordinators. And I said, well, I've heard of it, but I'm not very familiar with that at all. But I do know that you have to be, someone has to nominate you to become a part of their group or something. I just wanted to know, what do you think about that? Is that a great way to meet conference coordinators, or is that something different?
Well, let me say this. We have a lot of TEDx speakers on our platform.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on, I'm just switching locations real quick. Other side of the pool. Yeah, we have a lot of TEDx speakers on our platform. And, you know, it's like one of those things, Michelle, where it's like to each his own.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be able to pursue doing a TED Talk, then that's more than okay.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand the process of getting the TED Talk, but every speaker thinks that that's the pinnacle of their speaking career when they do get a TED Talk.
Mm-hmm.
But you still got to know how to market yourself. Everybody in the world wants to do a TED Talk, so there's courses out there to tell you how to get a TED Talk. A lot of people are trying to make money off that process. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would always say, if somebody's going to nominate you for it, the line to get a TED Talk and to not get nominated, somebody nominated me for a TED Talk. I never heard back. So there's no guarantee that you're going to get the talk, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, that's just something that's like a bonus.
Gotcha.
So, but what I can do is I can arrange the TEDx speakers that we have on our platform. I can ask them to come on and share some information, either on the Monday group call, or either I can make a video or something and then point you to where the video is and tell them what the process was. And I've talked to speakers before who've gotten nominated and they had some kind of inside track with the person who was running the event, and they just asked them to speak. So you can actually throw your own TEDx event. They'll give you the signage, but you gotta go through a strict process of getting approved to do your own TEDx event. And now you're a TEDx speaker because you got the signage behind it. It's a great marketing tool, but it's not the end all be all if you don't get one. I had, you know, it's like I hear some crazy stuff, Michelle. I hear people say, well, if you're not a TEDx speaker, you know, you're not going to get any bookings. Or if you're not a PhD or you don't have a master's degree, you're not going to get any bookings. Like, people don't understand how this business really works. All of those things are great for your sales tools because it just gives you another feather in your cap. But Michelle, let's be real clear, okay? You have stellar professional credentials. You're super articulate. My God, you got a beautiful voice. If you didn't pick up a TED Talk, I don't give a damn about any other credential. If you never had anything before, you got enough to work with right now. So what I tell people is start where you are, and all the extras that you get, then that just makes you that much better.
Right.
But when you learn how to market yourself the right way, you're not going to need a TED Talk or anything else. Everybody's chasing. See, this is the problem with the marketplace. Every motivational, inspirational speaker is chasing after the same thing. And they don't even understand what it means when they actually get it. So if you get a TED Talk, great. You know how many TEDx speakers we got on our platform that still don't know how to market themselves?
Wow. Yeah, I was just asking because, like I said, someone had asked me had I ever thought about doing that, because they said that's an easier way to meet conference coordinators. And I was just thinking, well, we never talked about that in our Monday class. So I don't
way.
know.
Okay. First of all, see, because I love having conversations like this. First of all, where is the source that you got that from to say that's an easy way to meet conference coordinators?
Wasn't somebody actually that goes to my gym, and he's trying to get into doing TED Talks. And that's why he inboxed to ask me, had I, looked into that option. And I told him, no, I've heard of it, but I've never looked into that option. And so I told him about, our speaker focus group and how we're working and being taught how to reach out to conference coordinators. And he says, oh, they're doing TED Talks. That'll get you in front of the conference coordinators. Now, I don't know that because I don't know anything about TED Talk. Heard of it, but I've never looked into it or anything like that. But that's why I was just wondering, is that really true?
There's a lot of misconceptions about TED Talks. Everybody's saying, listen, there's people paying, you can charge a fee to learn how to be a TEDx speaker. There is a serious process that you have to go through, but you can literally do your own TEDx event. You can go to the website, you can go through the process. Now it may be a waiting list. You may have to wait 9 months, maybe a year, just for them to be able to get back to you to say, okay, we want to do an event. You got to have a great cause. They just don't take any topic. There's a whole series of criteria that you have to meet in order to do a TED Talk. My whole thing is this: if you feel like that's something you really want to pursue and you get the right kind of information, I know somebody in my area and they're talking about applying for a TED Talk, and they want me to be one of the speakers on the TED Talk. They give you the banner, they give you the signage. It's the way that you have to promote it. There's a whole, I said, when you get it set up, let me know. And I'd love to come and do a TED Talk. Nobody gets paid. It's all free. See, you're not getting paid to do the TED Talk. That's what everybody's thinking. Oh, I'm gonna do a TED Talk and I'm gonna blow up. No, you still got to do some damn work. And these are the things we talk about on the speakerfocus.com platform. I would never tell you not pursue something, Michelle. Listen, we have Gilberto Herrera. He did a TED Talk in Alabama. Well, Gilberto is heavily integrated into the business community. He just so happened to network with a woman who was doing the TED Talk in Alabama. She said, you know what, Gilberto, I heard you, talking this and this. You're real good at mentoring. He said, well, if I did a talk, I would want to do something about financial services. No, we got too much of that. We need to talk about mentoring. And it just so happens that, you know what, she caught him talking to some kids or something. One thing led to another, and boom, he was on the platform speaking, and he got the TEDx banner behind him. You see, that's how it can happen for some people. You get asked to come speak by the person throwing the event because they need about 8 to 10 speakers on a platform.
Right. Well, that's why it's good to ask questions, because he made it seem like, oh, you get involved in TED Talk. I said, well, and just a little bit I read, you have to be invited to become a TED Talk speaker, TEDx, or whatever it is. Yep. But I know that you don't get paid for. So why am I going to go through all these hoops to do something I'm not going to get paid for?
Listen, you know what, Michelle, you're absolutely right. A lot of things that I was chasing in the beginning of my career, and I really thought that was the end thing to do. Mm-hmm. A lot of these circles that I was trying to get into, they were just thinking of high heaven. I mean, a lot of things I wanted to be a part of. When I got there, I was like, wow, you know what? National Speakers Association, they don't teach you how to book speaking engagements. They're an association or a membership that sells memberships. Mm-hmm. So I get it, and I understand. They have a national conference, they got regional conferences, they got local conferences, they got all these different little local presidents. Same thing like with Toastmasters. And I'm not knocking them, but they don't teach you how to market yourself. So every speaker, it's a lot of misinformation out there. And I'm the only person who brings this kind of effort to make corrections, enlighten, and I learn new stuff every single day. TEDx is a different animal. So I'm probably going to either get our TEDx speakers, the ones who want to participate on our platform, get them on a Zoom session, interview all of them, and tell them what the process is, and also somebody that really knows what the heck they're talking about. If you choose to pursue it, you literally can do your own TEDx event.
Okay.
You can do your own event. It's just a process you have to go through. If they approve you, right? If they approve you, then they're gonna give you the guidelines of how to get it done. Somebody enlightened me about it. I'm like, oh, that's dope. Now you ain't got to sit around and wait in line. You got a better chance of doing your own TEDx event than TEDx calling you and asking you to speak. And there's just so many other opportunities. And that's not the only way to meet meeting planners and conference coordinators. There's so many other ways to do it. And that's why we have the forum that we have and the platform we have at speakerfocus.com, because we're showing you how to build the automation out. And that's how you get in the mix of talking to all these conference coordinators.
Right. And I appreciate that. Like I said, I just wanted to ask, because, people are told bits and pieces of things. And so obviously what he told me was not necessarily the whole picture. He just gave me a little portion of it. So now I can go back and say, well, I've talked to my coach, and that's just not a good option for me, because like I said, I don't want to sit and wait 9 months to see if I'm going to be approved. And there's no guarantee. So now I've waited all this time, and for what? I could have been pursuing other coordinators and probably have gotten booked for other stuff. So that's just a waste
Absolutely. Of time. That is exactly. Now listen, I'm not saying it's a total waste of time, but you appear to be the kind of person that don't want to hold their breath and sit around and wait for an opportunity. I know I'm not.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm good. I'm good with what I have. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem. You're very welcome. Was that all the questions that you have?
Yes, that was it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Michelle, I'll take a look at your video and I'll give you some feedback soon.
No rush. Thank you.
No problem. All right, let me see. I'll be right with you. Let me see who's up next. I believe it was, all right, let me see, remove permission. Okay, we got Rafa. I'm gonna get to Jonathan because Jonathan had his hand raised very early on the call and then he popped back off. So Jonathan, you're up next. Jonathan, what's up with you, boss?
How's it going, KTR?
Hey, Jonathan, let me tell you something, bro. Your speaker video demo, kudos to the people that did your editing. I saw the lower thirds. I saw them pop up, the signature program up there. Very well articulated, man. You're gonna be one of the best diversity inclusion speakers in the marketplace, bro. You know that stuff like the back of your hand.
KTR, you know what? Don't tell me all that, man, because I brought that home to my wife and she was like down in it. She said, man, your hands are moving too much. Man, I was distraught. It's like, are you kidding me? So
Okay.
For you to say that makes me feel a little bit better. But you know, when your better half starts kind of downing you, you don't feel so good after all of that. But I have to say, the guy did it in one day. He did it in 3 hours.
Okay. Well, what I was looking at, not so much your body language was moving back and forth. I will say this: if she's gonna critique a part, maybe you had a rough start, but as soon as the first like 5 seconds was over, you jumped right into value. And I was listening to the way you were presenting the programs, and the programs were popping up on the screen. You did have the value you did have the value there. And remember this too. Our better halves are always trying to look out for our best interests. So we always want to improve and get better. Never be married to your marketing materials and always be willing to upgrade them. Your speaker video demo is enough to get you out into the market right now, if that's your final product. But Jonathan, you can always go back in and you can shoot it again if you needed to. If you're not happy with it, shoot it again. Submit another version and have the guy plug in the new videos that you do for your signature programs and have them rolling in there. If you listen, at the end of the day, excuse me, you got to be happy about putting yourself into the marketplace. I'm telling you that it wasn't God awful. I said, wow, what I'm looking for is command over the content. You know what you're talking about. I wasn't bored. Jonathan, you there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. So
the thing about it was,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what it was, when I was doing that, KTR, I realized I don't even have, a name for the company. I was kind of like just thinking about myself. And so right off the top, we decided to call it JTK Consulting. And that was plugged in there because, I think there needs to be like a business name, but
okay.
It's not set up yet legally. So what do you think about that? I just use that JTK Consulting because I want them to be able to see something that looks like a business entity when they're looking at that video.
Exactly. Well, again, these are things those are minor things that you have it in the speaker video demo. I tell you this, a lot of people are hard on themselves. They say, well, my book isn't the best, or my website isn't the best, or it's like a first generation. It's a first generation speaker video demo. I'd rather have a first generation speaker video demo with a few minor mistakes in it than not have one at all. How about that?
That makes sense.
You at least made an attempt, and everybody's so hard on themselves. The bottom line is this: you could have the worst speaker video demo I've ever seen, and somebody is still going to like it when it's all packaged together the right way, when you deliver the value. And here it is. This is what I want you to think about. If it doesn't sit well with you in your heart of hearts, if you feel like you could do better, if you feel like you can present it better, then go back in there and do it. Put your gray suit back on with the black shirt. I love the tie combination, all of that. I mean, you look professional, right? What I'm checking for, Jonathan, you should know me by now, bro. I'm not giving you a grade A if it's not suitable. So I'm checking for, did he have command over his content? Yes. Did he know his shit? Yes. Does it flow? Yes, it flowed. Like I said, you might have had a little rough start jumping into it, but 5 seconds later, you start running off these signature programs and adding the value and giving the bullets in there. Now, I don't know what else that you could ask for. You had the signature programs fly across the screen, and I believe it was to the right of you.
To the right.
Video, yeah. And then it was like a lower third or something on there. So what? You're missing the company name. Next version, put it in there. So what? You feel like you didn't do your best. If I showed you the very first time I spoke on camera, or I did my first talk show called Blueprint for Success. Jonathan, I used to say, you know what I'm saying, after every single sentence that I said. And I literally sat down, the first television show I ever did as a host. I said, you know what, I'm in a half an hour show. I said, you know what I'm saying, 72 times.
Wow.
And you want to talk about hard on yourself? And see, you don't see it unless you go back and look at the video. Then you can say, damn. But all you can do is you sit back and you say, you know what, I'm going to get better. And I'm going to get better. And I'm going to get better. Jonathan, if you're pissed off, if you're not happy with your performance, then go back in there and do it again.
Well, you know what? I'm okay with it. My wife was the one who was hard on me. I liked it at first, okay? Until she jumped in and saw it. And she just said, no, it's your hands are moving too much. But that's just the way I talk, right?
Okay. She said your hands. She didn't say nothing about the way you articulated it, your oratorical skills, your elocution, and your articulation. She didn't say nothing about that, did she?
No, just the hands.
Okay. With all due respect to your wife, now, you know, Jonathan, when people say all due respect, you know, they about to say the most, you know, they about to say the most disrespectful shit you ever heard in your life, right?
I thought it was good, KTR, but it was like, you know what I'm talking about. I want her to say, hey, this is fantastic. No, she didn't say that. She's like, your hands. I said, okay. But she liked the message, you know, all the stuff I was talking about. And, you know, because of you, man, you saved me a lot of time and money. Had I done this on my own, it would have never gotten to this point.
Well, like I said, you know, first of all, you know, wifey's opinion does matter because she does have your best interests at heart and she knows you better than anybody.
Right.
So the body movement, all of the all of the body gestures or physical movements, those things can be corrected. Right. But again, you had command over the content, bro, and that's what I was checking for. And all of that stuff was great. Again, first generation was amazing. I like the fact that you jumped in there and you rose to the challenge, because I lit a fire under your ass about 2 or 3 weeks ago. You was like, you know what? Ain't no more talking. I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna do it. And you got it done. Yeah. If you had to go with that for your speaker video demo for first generation, put together the website, and you gotta update me. Let me know how that's coming along with the speaker info kit. Right. Then I'm okay with that. Jonathan, what it does is you at least have sales tools to get you into the marketplace. You're going to upgrade these things later down the line anyway. You just needed something to get you out to start.
I appreciate that. Hey, and by the way, that the JTK consulting was something that the videographer did before I got there, so it was in the video. Yeah, so it is there.
Hey, look, that sounds kind of catchy. The JTK consulting, I like it. That has a little flair to it. Go with it.
Good.
You know,
I want to say one more thing, KTR. You were talking about what makes you so special.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to tell you what makes you so. This is for all the folks that are listening, especially Michelle, about this TEDx thing. Yeah. Before I joined you, I joined a guy who's talking about helping you to become a TEDx speaker.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so I've been through this whole thing. And he charged me an arm and a leg. You hear me? An arm and a leg.
Yep.
And he was nowhere, I mean, in terms of like what you give, he was nowhere in action, okay? He got the money and ran away. And so the thing about it is the level of engagement and the integrity that you have for this program is what makes it a winner. There are a lot of people that they basically, they say all these things about what they can do for you, but as soon as they get the money, they run away. So be careful with the TEDx stuff. There are a lot of so-called gurus out there asking for money, and they're gonna get you on the stage, and then you're left hanging. Okay, so you know they do all this. They do all that. They do all the applications for you and all that stuff. But some people that have been in this program have done up to 80 applications, and they still are not on the stage. So just be careful.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I appreciate you sharing that information. And that happens a lot. You know, people in our coaching program, they are part of a lot of other coaching programs that just didn't service them, or you, like you said, they didn't have the wealth of knowledge, or they don't provide the support. And you know, a lot of times people ask me, even on the strategy calls, Jonathan, I believe you and I, you know, I didn't, like I said, I didn't hear a air of skepticism in your voice. You just told me straight up, hey, listen, you know, I've been burned before. If I'm gonna be investing my money, and I was able to show, I mean, you're old school like me. We hit it off right off the break, because you were like, you know what, this guy's a straight shooter, man. That's the way I need to hear it. And we've been getting along ever since. You know, most people appreciate the fact that you tell it to them like it is, because I want you to go out and manage your clients like this. I want you to be so good at what you do that they cannot get along without you. There is so much BS in the marketplace. It's so easy to be number one. It's never been easy to be number one in your niche ever than it is right now. At least be in the top 50 to 100 people in the world that do what it is that you do. And I'm one of them, right? So,
well, man, I appreciate you, bro. That's all I got to say. I really appreciate you. And like I said before, the other coach just took the money, ran. I never saw him again. And then on top of that, to add insult to injury, he's talking about, okay, you want to pay me some more so you can meet with me. It's like, are you kidding me, bro? So yeah, done with them. And I'm hanging in there with you. And I really appreciate everything you've been doing for us.
Hey, look, man, it's all worth it, Jonathan. At the end of the day, man, likewise, people like you make us look good, and the words are most appreciated. Just keep working hard. You're doing a great job. Don't be so hard on yourself, because these sales tools are constantly going to get upgraded, but you have the knowledge and the subject matter expertise that this world needs right now. And you go tell your wife that so you can sleep good tonight. Okay.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Okay, boss. Talk to you real soon. Okay. Got a chance to talk to Jonathan. I love the name. Things are coming together for the students on the speakerfocus.com platform. Okay, I got some more questions coming up. Okay, in this order, I am going to get to you. Okay, Jonathan, I already talked to him. Let me see. Lower the hand for Jonathan. Okay, Eileen, I do see you there. Rafa, Ramon, Eileen, and then Wayne. In that order, I see you. Mr. Escobar, talk to me.
What's up, KTR? How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing super fantastic, man. After that testimonial video that you turned in, I mean, Rafa, hey, Rafa, watch this. Hey, bro, I got you down, bro, because your energy is so amazing. Well, I'm going to tell you, everyone, my name is Rafa Escobar, and I'm going to tell you what life was like before Speaker Focus, what life was like during Speaker Focus, and what the future looks like for me.
You felt that? I had to put you on, bro.
Bro,
I'm telling you.
Tell you something, bro. You crushed that testimonial video, man. I'm telling you right now.
I appreciate it, man. And I'm gonna say this before I go into my question is and this speaks right back to the testimonial, this whole idea of the TEDx talk. I think for a lot of us going into this platform, we all have a lot of dreams and aspirations. And one of them is that name that you hear a lot, TED Talk. Yeah. But there's, like you said, there's so much bullshit out in the market that you don't know where or what to follow. And that's really the big thing that I was trying to give him the testimonial. Like, yo, you don't even got to question it. This is the man. This is the guy. The fact that you get someone of this experience and this knowledge level to get to be with you 2 hours a week, I'm like, that in itself is the value. You know what I mean? So I just want to say really thank you for everything that you do. Like I say every week, because, bro, you are every week you impress us. So just keep doing what you're doing, because it's awesome. Okay.
Ain't no question, man. Ain't no question. Hey, look, man, we all got a gift in this life. And I'm going to go inside. It's getting a little bit dark out here. So I'm not going to get bummed out. I'm not going to get bummed out because I'm not outside, but I got to at least let y'all see my face. Hold on for a second. Just go inside and get under some light. Okay. Here we go. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, bro, look, man, we all got a job to do. And I love what I do. I'm passionate about it, as you can see. And we all have to, you gotta do your part to change the world. And the only way you're gonna do that is through your gift. And you gotta show that to people. That's why I always tell everyone on this platform, illustration beats conversation. Forget the talk. There's so many people talking shit and talking loud and saying nothing. There are very few people that know how to speak in this industry. You need to be speaking to your clients. You need to over deliver every chance you open up your mouth. And if you're not going to do that, you need to get out of the game and sit your ass on the sidelines until you figure it out. Because there's somebody that's broken in this world right now, Rafa. And through your fitness program, through your signature programs, through all that energy that you've been blessed, that's a gift that you have, bro. And other people need to tap into that power source because they're lost. Man, I talked to somebody today that I haven't spoken to in a long time. 10 years ago, she was a multimillionaire, mansion, the whole 9 yards, bro. She's sleeping in a Range Rover now. She wanted to kill herself. Today, she sent me a direct message through Facebook and she asked me to call her. She didn't have anybody else to talk to. And I had no idea. But you know what I told her? I said, you need to hold it together because I know you feel like you're worthless right now. See, this is what the pandemic is turning people inside out, bro. And I've been there before. I know what it's like for them foreclosures, them repos, the water, gas, electric, utilities cut off. That shit is painful. It hurts. But as a speaker, and you know what they asked me? They asked me, how can they get in the speaking game? They asked me how can they get better at business? But, you know, all I could say was to hang in there. And I had to let her know that I understand what it is that she's been through because I've been there before myself. And I said, you got to hang on to a sand grain's worth of hope and you can't ever give up because somebody else out there in the world needs to hear your message because it's going to turn their life around or it's going to save their life. See, this is the power that you have with your words, bro. Rafa, this is why I support you the way I do. Fuck the money. Right. If you're working for money, you're going to fail. I learned that the hard way. You chasing money, dream chasing, you ain't going to catch neither one of them if you're chasing them. You got to learn to attract people to you and your brand. And when you get them attracted to you, now what are you going to say to them? And that's what's important. So you keep doing what you're doing, bro. I'm always going to be here for you because we're brothers. And I'm just doing what it is that I'm blessed with. I can't speak. You know, people want me to speak on what everybody else is doing with their coaching program. I don't know why they're not teaching you how to write copy. I don't know why they don't have no group call where you can't ask them questions. I don't know why you can't submit support tickets every day. I don't know why they don't know everything I know. But see, Rafa, when I was on my ass, a lot of the techniques and the strategies that I'm sharing with you was born out of pain. Yeah. This is the reason why it's so good. I'm to respectfully requesting to all of you, share your pain and don't be afraid to be transparent because that's where you're going to get your best stuff to help people change their lives, bro. And I'm telling you right now, it's so fulfilling. It's better than drugs, sex, and anything else you can get your hands on that's a temporary high. I'm fulfilled from the time I wake up in the morning, from the time I go to sleep. Bro, my dreams are being processed in my subconscious mind when I'm sleeping. That's how real this thing is.
Yeah, bro, I feel it, man. You bring it every single time. So thank you for telling us that last piece that you said to share your pain. And the fact that all your work comes through that pain, I think we all feel that because the work is excellent. It guides us to where we need to be. And it's just everything that we could have ever asked for. So thank you, bro. And I'll go ahead and ask you my question now. All right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, take your time, man. Take your time. It's still early on the call. Go ahead.
I'm working. I'm in the process of working on my info kit, on my speaker info kit. And I'm going based off of the PowerPoint that you provide us with. At this moment, I have all of the first page with all 4 programs. I have every program written with the 5 bullet points, the paragraphs, and I have some testimonials in there. The issue I'm running into is in those first 4 or so pages of the speaker info kit on the left-hand side, you yourself on there put a lot of pictures with you working with clients in speaking environments and testimonials and things of that nature. I don't have, and this isn't necessarily from a comparison standpoint. I'm just more so trying to figure out what to get on there. I don't have quite as much speaking experience. I do have a few testimonials, but I'm trying to think of what else I can get on that left-hand column of the page to fill out that speaker info kit because I don't have some of the pics and some of the testimonials that you have. So do you have any other ideas or anything else I could put on there?
Absolutely. That question pops up a lot on the speakerfocus.com platform. This is what you're going to do, Rafa. And this is going to take up some space, but it looks really good. If you go back into my speaker info kit and you look at the the testimonials from Russell Simmons that he gave me, you'll see the Rush Communications Management logo. If you see Kevin Plank from Under Armour, billionaire out of Maryland, you'll see the Under Armour logo with a picture of me interviewing Kevin Plank. And you'll see the testimonial right under it. If you look at Massimo Diamore, he used to run PepsiCo many years ago. The first year he had him grossing $15 billion. So I used the PepsiCo logo over top of that. So what you can do is, if you lack speaking experience, you're gonna go back in your working experience. If you had a job, I don't care where it was from, take the logo from the company you work for, and a thumbnail picture of the person, and then put the testimonial up under there. If you have people in your circle of influence, whether or not it's a client, whether or not anybody who can speak on your leadership character, anybody can speak on you in action, anybody knows Rafa as a person, whatever job they work for, take the company logo, take a thumbnail for the picture, put the testimonial right up under there. People speaking about your character, man. Conference coordinators, meeting and event planners, chair, board, or committee members love third-party validation, Rafa. And anybody that's, first of all, bro, I'm giving you a testimonial. I'm gonna send you a picture. Send me a reminder or support ticket and say, KTR, I need a testimonial from you. I'll give you the best testimonial you ever had in your life and put me on the first page. KTR Celebrity Insider, Speaker, CEO, speakerfocus.com. How about that?
Shit, man, I'm about to jump through the phone and give you a hug. Thank you.
Hey, Rafa, let's give a virtual hug, bro.
Yeah,
Let's give a group hug.
there it is. There it is.
Give me some, Rafa. Hit that screen,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Pow.
yeah. Thank you, man. Man,
Does
that
that
just
make
solved
sense?
all my issues. Hell yeah. So you said,
Yeah. So see,
you
go
said
ahead.
go back to my work experience, right? And then think of
Yes.
anyone who I've made an impact with working experience, take their
Yes.
testimonial, take their thumbnail, and then take a logo of the company and then utilize it for that space. And then to hit you up on the speaker focus support so I can get a testimonial from you.
Yep. And I'll send you a picture. I'll send you the testimony, the picture that I want on there, and just make sure you put my logo on there as well, whether or not it's the KTR logo or the Speaker Focus logo, and then boom, put that in there and you'll be good to go. What that shows is you have relationships with other working professionals, high profile people. And once they start doing a search on everybody, which everybody's going to do, they're going to be like, okay, let me go ahead and see who this person is. Oh, damn, that's Kevin T. Robertson, CEO of speakerfocus.com. They run a multi-million-dollar sales funnel. Okay, good enough for me. Next. See, the conference coordinator is going to do some digging, but they're not going to run a goddamn FBI background investigation on you, Rafa. They're just going to do enough digging to see whether or not you are legitimately connected, number one, and number two, that your signature programs speak volume, and number three, and this should be number one, is that can you deliver what you say you're going to deliver? And if your sales tools are put together the right way, bro, they're not going to question one thing that you have to offer, because that's where the authenticity comes in. That's why you got to work hard on these signature programs, which in your case, we already approved. So you're into the sales tools mode. Now, when you do the sales tools the right way, Rafa, you're not going to have to do any talking. And remember, you and I, we suffer from the same affliction. When I first started, just like you, I was talking too much. You got to stop talking so much and let the sales tools and the marketing collateral do the talking for you. You got it?
I got you, KTR. You're the man. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you.
You're the man. You're the man. Remember, they're going to pay you to hear your story. The game is to be sold, not to be told. You let them sales tools and them signature programs do the talking. We're going to get you into module 5 and teach you how to automate your speaker business. Now you're going to have conference coordinators trying to schedule a call with you and get on your calendar. You're going to have leverage, and they're going to say, Rafa, we love your energy. This is the signature program we're interested in. We're serious about booking you to speak. We got a venue. We got a date coming up in March 2022. And we want to talk to you about a budget. And you can be calling me back one day, just like everybody else, and you can be talking about, KTR, man, I got my first high fee speaking gig, man. Thank you so much, man. This shit works, da, 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 da. That's how it's going to go down for you, bro. That's a guarantee, because you're doing the work. What you think? Hey, Rafa, you don't put in this kind of work, bro, just like with your body. You don't get them guns cut up the way you do, and you showing, you think you're funny, right, Rafa? I saw your 8-pack. You don't have a 6-pack, bro. You got a damn 8-pack. I'm so sick of you, I don't know what to do. So you don't put in that kind of work on your body and it not look like that. Well, it's the same thing with your speaker business. That kind of discipline of organizing the messaging, that's doing the ad work. The next thing is working on your guns. Then you got back day, you got leg day, you just keep moving in a direction. You're gonna be all sculpted out, ready to go to the marketplace. That's how it's gonna go, bro.
Yo, hands down, best coach in the game. Thank you. Bro, I got enough fire to carry me through the month on that one.
I humbly accept that. You know, I'm not trying to make anybody look bad here, bro. I can't help it that this is the way my mom raised me. I genuinely care about people, and I'm teaching my clients to do the same exact thing. I want all y'all to be top level consultants and coaches and speakers just like I am. And there's a way to do it. But you got to get past all this bullshit ego. You got to get these emotions out of the way. You got to make it about the people who you serve. This is what sickens me about the coaching industry, bro. They're so full of telling you what to do, but ain't nobody showing you how to do shit.
Yeah.
That's their problem. That's their problem. This is a competitive industry. Let them keep doing whatever it is that they're doing. You keep doing what you're doing, and you don't have to worry about, oh man, these. See, I hear this every day, Rafa. Last thing, I hear this every day, and I move to the next person. I hear, oh, KTR, man, there's so much competition in my space. I don't give a damn how many fitness coaches it is out there. There's only one Rafa Escobar, period. And no other Rafa Escobar in the world and no other fitness trainer in the world has those signature programs. And I can guarantee you that nobody has that kind of energy. Nobody has that ideology. Nobody has that approach. See, this is the reason why we're all uniquely and specifically wired and designed to do one thing. And Rafa, you was put here to do that thing, and can't nobody else do it. I don't give a damn if they try to duplicate it, imitate it. Rafa, often duplicated, hard to imitate though. Remember that.
I'm gonna take that to the bank. Thank you.
Remember that, bro. I love you. You keep working hard, all right?
I love you too, KTR. Thank you, bro.
All right, man. Give my best to Amy. I'll talk to you real soon. Peace.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, let me see. Let me go back to this. Oh, man, people jumping. Okay, we got Vanessa Ward. We got Rico coming up. Okay, Vanessa, Rico, Ramon, I'll be right with you. Wayne, I'll be right with you. Okay, Rafa, I'm going to take lower Rafa's hand. I'm going to go in order. Let's go to, okay, Eileen, I'll be right with you. I believe Ramon was next. I did say he was next. So Ramon, you're up next. Thank you, everybody, for waiting in the queue. And thank you for your patience. Ramon, talk to me, champ. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, KTR?
Fantastic.
Good. My question is, do you think it's a good idea, or do you recommend us going to taking a course for writing copy?
Bro, anything that's going to make you better, I'm all for it. There are some great books out there. There's some great courses to write copy, but you remember, you should learn to write copy in specific to connect with the conference coordinator. But you writing, understand this, writing copy has a lot to do with what Madison Avenue has been doing for years and years and years. Marketing is me making you believe what I want you to believe. It's a slogan, it's a catchphrase, it's a saying, it's a power phrase. These word sequences that the marketing companies put together and some of the best ad campaigns in the history of the world. Toyota is "Oh, what a feeling." ROLAIDS spells relief. You know, these are all things that are all, some copywriter had to put that together, and they had to submit multiple titles in order to find the right one that was going to resonate with the specific target audience. So I would say definitely there are some great copywriting courses out there. Send me a support ticket and I'll snap. I got 3,500 books in my personal library that I've read and researched, and I got thousands and thousands of articles and other things that I've courses and stuff that I've taken. I'll pull out a couple copywriting books and courses, something that's easy to understand, that has the basic principles and guidelines and stuff in there. I'll go over some stuff I'll send you some suggestions. How about that?
All right, that'll be fine. Thank you very much.
No problem. Hey, look, don't ever be afraid to invest money in yourself, Ramon, if you feel like it's going to get you to another level. Let me tell you this, the VSL, the video sales letter that you put together, it is a great start. I love the way you followed the blueprint and the format. You looked at the one that I had on Vimeo. I don't know how long it took you to dictate all of that, but let me tell you something. You delivered the value, and that's all that matters. You clearly followed a format, and you understood what exactly to deliver. And that's why you're going to be a high fee speaker, because you're not afraid to put the work in. See, if you're going to feel like you're embarrassed all the time about creating sales tools or taking a run at a speaker video demo or trying these sales tools, you're going to fail all the time. And you always got somebody who's going to keep helping you improve. So that's a big difference from the first version that you turned in, from the final version that you just showed me. And you're moving in the right direction, bro, period.
All right, thank you. You got my testimonial. I can do another one if you want.
You know what? I believe it was a little choppy. I looked at it for like 30 seconds, and I believe it was jumping a little bit.
If you don't mind, I'd like to send that out.
Okay, no problem. So I tell you what, just so I don't know why. I remember you sent a version.
I used my my computer, and I think I'd rather use my phone.
Okay, you know what? I believe you sent a video before, and we had that issue. Yeah, do it from your phone. Yeah, do it from your phone and see how it comes out. And love to have the testimonial from you, man. You've been doing a great job. You got your website up. You've been doing all of the steps, Ramon. You put a lot of hard work in, brother. And I know that the time has been limited with you running your company on the side. So I take my hat off to you, man, because you've been doing the work with no excuses, and that's how you get it done.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much.
22, you're very welcome. 2022 is going to be awesome for you, bro. Believe that.
All right, man.
Talk to you, champ. Peace.
All right, bye.
Okay, let's go. Let me see. Eileen is next. Hey, Eileen.
Hi, KTR. Thanks for your time.
You're very welcome. How are you this evening?
I am on my one page working on my website. And for the signature programs, like you did earlier, I have 4 signature programs, and I wanted to know if is it okay for me to go ahead and send them with the bullets to put on the one page. So I know earlier, you know, if I could just read them to you, I tried to go in to edit them, and they would tell me that I needed to have permission to edit them in the template.
Okay.
So I want to try to get them over, and I think you've looked at them before. So can I just tell you what they are?
Sure, go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. Solving problems at work decreases stress and creates a healthy environment. So enhancing communication by learning elements of communication, enhancing communication by learning skills for effective listening. Self-esteem is about a relationship with yourself. So that's the first one. The second one is strategies to enhance coping skills and balance your life. Learn to access common indicators of coping skills that are soothing and have employees gain coping skills. Learn to streamline your life and set priorities at work and at home. Learn to set firm boundaries at work and home to enhance coping skills. The third one is keys to conquering work stress and dispelling myths about stress. Learning steps to reduce stress at work through awareness. Identifying triggers that cause stress at work. Identify ways to distinguish common myths about stress. And the last one is avoiding depression and anxiety at work. Learn strategies to decrease depression and enhance skills for your team by identifying symptoms of depression. Learn strategies to decrease anxiety and enhance skills for your team by identifying symptoms of anxiety. Observe and listen to tips on coping with depression at work, and observe and listen to tips on coping with anxiety at work. So are those okay to put on my one page under signature programs?
Are they okay? Those are beautiful word sequences. Excuse me. You make me smile every time you start talking about mental health, because this world needs speakers like you. They don't want speakers like you. They need, this is medicine in your message. Those are beautiful word sequences. They were well put together. Yes, that's what you need to be putting inside of your speaker. Your speaker one sheet doubles as the signature program page. And then you got to build out the entire speaker info kit. If you follow the template that we have inside of module number 1, I believe on the back end of the speaker toolkit, you'll see my version of the speaker info kit. try to duplicate that as much as possible. First page, signature program page, what you just read me, those 4 signature programs with the 3 bullets under there. Second page, biography. Already proved your biography a long time ago. Third page, breakout of each one of the signature programs. Put some pictures in there, like I just told Rafa, put the work experience in there, things of that nature, give the content to the graphic designer, come up with a first draft. It's never gonna look outstanding on the first draft. You just want to make sure that you love the design or the template that they picked out for you, and that they at least have it going in the right direction. Once you get a feel for it, you say, hey, I love it, keep going. And then they're going to build out the rest of the speaker info kit for you. You just do the best as you can. If you're going at the minimum, Eileen, I can't remember whether or not you had a book or not. Are you an author?
No, I'm not an author. I did articles for papers, but I don't have a book.
Okay, that's what it was. So, excuse me.
But I was a radio talk show host also for mental health. So I'm using that.
Exactly. So make sure that the first 6 pages, the speaker one sheet, which doubles as the signature program page, the bio page is number 2. And then the next 4 pages are the breakout of each one of the signature programs. Then it's, the customizable options at the bottom. You're just going to do a direct copy and paste from my signature program, my speaker info kit, and put that stuff in there as filler. And then the pictures and you're going to have a mainstay picture at the upper left-hand corner if that's what you want to do. So, with that being said, keep your head down and make sure that you submit also your speaker video demo. Have you submitted any of your signature programs on video? I think you did that before, right?
I had not, they weren't from a speaker program. They were like videos that I had done in the past.
Oh, got it. Okay.
You told me don't send any more because you saw those. So
yeah. So okay, yeah. And you know what? I might have told you that you had such command over your content that I didn't feel a need to send me any examples. But now what we got to do is we got to start moving forward to send over a final version of the speaker video demo. Send me a reminder, Eileen, through support@speakerfocus.com, and I will give you examples of other students who are crushing it on the platform of what their speaker info kits and their websites and the speaker video demos look like. I'll send you like 10 or 20 examples. You can go over there, look at them, and then you'll understand exactly what you got to do for yours. And also follow the checklist and organize the content, get it over to everybody. If you need help, send a support ticket to support@speakerfocus.com. If you're using our template for the website, you're going to need to know exactly what to do if you get stuck. And if you are, I believe you said you were working with someone else to help you with your template.
Amira. Yeah, I'm working with Amira.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you got somebody help. Okay, so now listen, it's really important. Keep your head down for the next 30 days and get all of that stuff complete and send it over to us for approval so we can move you through and start having you understand the next part of connecting with the conference coordinator with the organic outreach. Remember, with you, we're not worried about your content and your ability to speak. You do that at a very, very high level. And these conference coordinators would love to have you come in to deliver your level of expertise because you're talking all the right stuff of how this world is turned upside down right now to get it right. Believe me, I talk to conference coordinators every single day, and they are delusional when it comes to a lot of this. This fluffy stuff is over. We need real strategies, and your signature programs offer that.
I just put my nose to the grinder, and I just need to go ahead and make it happen. But thank you for your patience. Yeah.
You're very welcome. Listen, we're going to be in this with you for the long haul. You got somebody on your team now to help you. Your confidence has grown. I can clearly hear that. You were definitely lost, like most of us, when it comes to technology when you first started. I told you this is a marathon, but you're getting better at it. And the fact that you keep showing up for the group call and you keep me informed about what's going on, eventually you're going to get there. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, you're going to get there. Some people can go fast because they comprehend things a little bit different. Some of us, when it comes to technology, and I'm right there with you, sometimes it just takes a little bit of time, but it's possible to get there, and we're going to get you there, okay?
Thanks for your support, KTR.
You're very welcome. Love you much, Eileen. I'll talk to you real soon.
Love you too.
All right. Okay. Now let me see. Let me go. See, this is what I'm talking about, everybody. See, and believe me, Eileen is not the only one who was having a difficult time in the beginning. but she doesn't give up. My God, I can't tell you what that means. You know, you can't give up. Wayne is next. Uh-oh, Wayne. I hope Wayne saw that feedback I gave him about his speaker, when he turned in his example for his speaker video demo. Wayne, are you there? Wayne, can you hear me? Wayne, I think we're having an audio issue, bro. Let me see if I change role to panelist. Wayne, can you hear me? Uh-oh, Wayne, I think we're having an audio issue with you. Let me just check one thing. Wayne, I'm asking you to unmute. If I can't hear you, I might have to ask you to come back in. And I'm gonna have to move to Vanessa. I'm gonna have to move on to somebody else, Wayne, unless you come back. Vanessa, are you there? Hey, Vanessa. Vanessa, are you there? I know I'm not muted. Okay, what is going on? That's two people in a row. Wait a minute. Unmute. Okay, Vanessa, can you hear me? Why is she?
Can you hear me?
Boom, there you go. Okay, Vanessa, I hear you now.
Okay, Kevin, good evening. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing super fantastic, Vanessa. How you been?
I am wonderful. I got this place where I'm really stuck and it's kind of getting in the way of every direction I want to go. So
Okay.
The first thing is my religious connotation on my name is Apostle Vanessa Ward.
Okay.
As a result of that, one of your first teachings were try to stay away from the religious and political as much as possible. Then we come to the other thing you teach us, that they're going to do an FBI search on you anyway. My book is written in Apostle. I've been awarded four street signs in Apostle. Every award I've ever gotten for what I do has Apostle on it. And I want to use it in my brand. I want to use it in my logo. And I need to hear your advice.
Okay, no problem. Well, here's the advice. So are you going to be, out of the 6 different target markets that we focus on our platform, the speakers typically can earn revenue? That's going to be the youth market, speaking to kids. Let's just do a process of elimination. What's going to be the market that you are going to target for your professional speaking services and your messaging? See, this is all boils down to the messaging. So is it going to be the youth market, speaking to kids? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. All right. We got to be concrete on this because we can't be in between. Well, we're in between. That means we're a generalist, and generalists don't earn a lot of money as high fee speakers. They typically stay in the $0 to $1,000 category earning power.
Agreed.
And you and I believe we had a real conversation about that in our very first call, and we were trying to get you out of that. Now, the next category is going to be the faith-based market, which is a very natural fit with the word apostle attached to your name. I don't have a problem with you staying in the faith-based market, but understand this. If you're going to have success in the faith-based market, do a Google search on mega churches. It's about 450 mega churches all throughout the United States and abroad. They have congregation sizes from 2,000 to over 60,000 members a week. Those are the ones that actually throw big conferences like TD Jakes Manpower Conference. When you're talking about my dear friend, my colleague, Joel Osteen, the reason why they get $100,000 honorarium when they go speak at the churches, because the mega churches can pay the fee. They can pay a high fee of $5,000 plus. The problem, Vanessa, with the smaller churches, and 55% of African-American churches in specific are in economic crisis, which means they are struggling to pay the light bill. So you're going to put yourself in a broken system of a love offering, an honorarium, or a collection system. You're going to barely have enough for some Chick-fil-A and some gas money on the way home. And that's a fact. I've spoken to countless churches before. They walked up to me afterwards and put $50 in my hand. I was standing out in 98-degree heat in the sun in the summertime and talk my eyeballs out of my head for an hour, and they dropped $50 or $100 on me. That is not the situation I want to put you in. So,
All right.
So
can I interject and say definitely no?
Okay, so you don't want to be in the faith-based market. Okay, so now watch what's going to happen. I want you to listen to me very carefully, and everybody else that is spiritually based, or you've been in that market and you've had success, you have a calling on your life. I am not telling you to go against your religious belief. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is that when you start moving in some of these other markets, you cannot lead with biblical connotations, spiritual or political, because it's going to cut your audience in half. And all it's going to do is scare your audience away because of what they don't understand. So now remember, we're doing a process of elimination. Youth markets, speaking to kids, faith-based markets, speaking to churches, which the apostle connotation would be a great fit for if you're going to stay at the mega churches, but leave the smaller churches alone, because they're not going to be able to pay you as a high fee speaker. Now, at the conferences, they will be able to, but those are going to be the bigger churches that do the bigger conferences. Those are the ones that have the budgets of $5,000 and above. Now, the next one is going to be the government contracting market. There is no way in the world that the government is going to allow you to come in and talk about apostle anything. So if you had to do, at least you got a great sense of humor about it, Vanessa, because these are the facts. Now, the next market is going to be the college and university market. Now, they do have a lot of divinity schools. You have a lot of historical Black colleges. Colleges are more open-minded because they have an activity fee that everybody has to pay. And then they're going to bring in clowns and bands and jugglers and illusionists and hypnotists, and they're going to bring in spiritual speakers. They're going to bring in speakers that talk about sexual prevention and domestic violence. They're going to bring in speakers that talk about everything. So you may be able to get away with it there. It is a possibility because they have literally thousands of divinity schools, and there's like 4,000 plus colleges throughout the United States and U.S. Virgin Islands alone that you can market your services to. But the problem that I have with the college market is that they want to keep you under $4,000, typically right around $2,000 to $3,000. The lower the better, but you got to take out all your expenses up front. I want you high fee speaking starts at $5,000. And the last two markets, Vanessa, are you still with me?
I sure am.
They are the corporate and the association market. They pay the higher fees. They pay the $5,000 for 1 hour or any portion of 1 hour, $7,500 for the half-day program, which is 2 to 4 hours, $10,000 USD for the full-day program, which is 4 to 8 hours. Those are going to be your domestic fees, plus business class accommodations, hotel and airfare for 2. You should be requesting a $100 meal per diem every day, which they will happily pay. Your ground transportation is a minimum luxury town car, SUV, or limousine that picks you up to and from the home or tour city destination airport. They pay all out-of-pocket expenses, ground incidentals, anything. They pay for the workbooks to be done, shipped, anything like that they pay for without belly aching. Now, with that being said, if you are an apostle, we have plenty of examples on our platform because there's light at the tunnel, Vanessa. Listen to this. We got plenty of examples. We have deacons, pastors, apostles, bishops, licensed ministers, all of that on our platform. They are also business professionals. So if you want to go for the corporate dollars, your books and your history, if somebody Googles you, may say apostle this and apostle that, but you have a business program that you want to teach these corporations, and you are going to strip away the apostle connotation, biblical, spiritual language. You're going to just create the leadership programs, which all biblically based programs are leadership programs anyway. They just have a different set of verbiage to a different market. Am I making sense to you?
Yes, you are, totally.
If you want to get this money, Ms. Ward, then remember, Vanessa, marketing is me making you believe what I want you to believe. It doesn't make you a bad person because you're hanging on to your religious beliefs. That's not a problem. We all believe in something. I'm a believer. But when I go do business with these corporations, I don't mention one thing about God, about Jesus, and people that sat down and had dinner the Last Supper with them. I don't mention anything about anything. I don't say anything about politics. I don't give my opinion about politics because it is not the appropriate place to do it. What's going to happen, and I've done it before, listen to me carefully. When you do that and you just bring in all your strong religious beliefs, and you are top heavy with the spirituality, but you're not heavy when it comes to helping somebody move the meter about how to do their job better. You're not giving them leadership strategies. You're not helping them increase their productivity, efficiency, time management, organizational skills. Am I making sense to you? That stuff don't have nothing to do with spirituality. If you lean on that, Vanessa, that's how you can have a career and be a leadership speaker without losing your integrity.
Okay, I just need to jump in here with one more thing, Kevin.
Yes,
all
ma'am.
right, now we went through all the market. I mean, all the audiences, but
Yes,
there was
ma'am.
one that I was going to ask you about, and that is community development. I don't know what nectar that falls under, but I was looking at the various places that I have gotten awards. Like they have assemblies where they bring community activists together annually. I was looking at that audience and wanted to see, what did you think?
Okay, you're asking me about whether my opinion about.
No, I guess I'm asking about pay rate and what, or is that another audience? And does it fit in the 6 that you described? Does it fit in one of those? And that's the community. That's where they come together with the community activists and to encourage them on how to reach the community. That's where I saw my niche may be, because that's what I want to do, promote hope and keep people encouraged and give them strategies on how to get people involved and how to create outstanding events.
Okay, now your question is this. Anytime, listen carefully, everyone, this is something to remember. Anytime you're dealing with a city, local, any type of local, city, regional, state, or federal municipality, they do have a budget to pay $5,000. One of my clients. Say it again.
You said something, I heard it. I was just saluting that. I said, come on.
Yeah, they do have, they will pay speakers at the $5,000+ level when you're servicing a municipality. It all depends on what level city that you're in. Watch this. I went to Cleveland one time and did a keynote speech. They only had $1,800. They did pay for my airfare travel. By the time it was all over, I think it was probably, I'm thinking $2,300, $2,500 that I was able to get, all inclusive. I did the engagement. That was in Cleveland. I went to Alexandria, Virginia. They paid me $5,000 with no problem. But I had to wait 30 days for it. I had to wait longer than that, I think.
Okay.
Municipalities pay after services are rendered. This is what I don't like about the youth market. When you go speak at schools, they pay you after it's rendered. They simply do not have a system where they can cut the check or issue a purchase order. Well, they're going to start the purchase order process, but they have so much red tape to go through. I mean, look, this is funny, right? My client, one of my past clients is HUD, the Housing and Urban Development, right there in Washington, D.C. They probably hired me at least 30 different times. They had to send a purchase order to Texas to get my check to come back to DC where the main office is. I have no idea why that happens like that, but that's the way it happens. You got to understand where your money is coming from and what the process is going to be going through to get your money. And the corporate and associations, they pay 50% deposit upfront to take the date off the calendar. Vanessa, all I'm asking you to do is just hold off on the spiritual language and just be strong with your leadership language, and you still can get your foot in the door.
I can do that. And I'll start sending you some evidence real soon.
No problem, because as soon as you send it over to me and it's not right, I'm gonna scratch it up to you and tell you to do it over again.
That's all right. I'll be ready, Kevin.
Okay.
I'm gonna yield for the next person.
I know you would. Listen, you got a stellar attitude towards getting better. You didn't get up into your feelings. Listen, when we're men or women, when we let our ego or our emotions get involved, it impairs your ability to make an accurate decision, and it will cloud your judgment. So you just keep doing what you got to do. You listen to somebody that knows. See, I've serviced. Why do you think I have 2,700 plus paid speaking engagements? Because I've serviced all these markets. I am an expert in servicing government contracts, an expert in speaking in the youth market, an expert in speaking in churches and not getting paid, an expert at speaking at colleges when I know they're going to have my check when I get on campus, but they're going to want to lowball you like I don't know what, because they're funny with their budgets. But when you get in where the big boys play and the big women play, that's the corporate and association market. I spent 75% of my career in the corporate and association market, and I've been jerked around enough in every way possible that you can imagine of getting a low fee gig, and that's the reason why you want to listen to me. You got it?
Got it. Thank you, Kevin.
Yes, ma'am. Love you much. Glad to see you back on the
You're
platform.
welcome.
Talk to you real soon, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, now, okay. Oh, I love it right there. That was gold right there. See, you can't be afraid to share. See, when you see what happens when you share, you help somebody else out on the platform. Because remember, all these videos are right there on our platform. Okay, Charlene, Giselle, I'll be right with you after I talk to Rico. And Rico, talk to me, boss.
Boss man, how's it going?
Rico, I'm winding down, man. I mean, it's hey Rico, if I just didn't lose 10 pounds, it'll be Miller time. You understand what I'm saying?
You know what? Too bad you got it set up, because I was going to show my face, but I can't. You only seeing the still shot. I was dressed up in everything.
Oh, wow. Hey, Rico, you dropping content? You dropping videos?
I did the testimonial. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got it.
Yeah.
Listen. Hey, Rico, listen, bro. I already know you can get clean with the best of them. And I ain't talking about your Sunday's best neither. You're entertained. I already know how you get down.
Look, man, look. Hey, I learned from the best, man. I really was excited about that. I really didn't have a question. I just wanted to say thank you, brother, so much. Matter of fact, it's so interesting. I go behind the person that you mentioned, Apostle, because that's the very question I asked you when I first met you on Clubhouse. Remember?
Yes.
Yes, I was actually, Gilberto actually challenged me, because the person before me asked a question that I was going to ask, and he was like, hey, he texted me while you were talking to her, like, hey, find another question to ask. And so that's the question I asked about how to transition.
Yes.
For far as in ministry.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a different, you can have the gift. I mean, yes, I'm blessed to have that. But what I really learned the most from this is really the preparation and the tools and the marketing.
Yep.
And man, you really help clear it up a lot, because you could be gifted at something, but if you're not trained, man, it really can tell on you. And I'm really excited about that, brother. So I wanted to tell you that.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Rico, that's a great point that you brought up. And it's amazing that you're right. We did have that conversation, and that is a struggle for a lot of people that are faith-based. I mean, none of us are going to make it this far if we don't understand the formidable laws of the universe. The law of reciprocity, the law of being kind, the law of attraction. All of these things help you out a lot. So obviously, if you think that these talents and these gifts don't come from some higher power, you're delusional, first of all. So I never tell people to walk away from their faith, because we all believe what we believe. And what you're what you're penetrating when you're teaching a talking point is they call it the not the mechanics of communication, but they call them common communication filters. And what you have is your education, background, life experiences, upbringing, and belief system. And you cannot change a person's belief. It's very difficult to alter a person's belief system. So what happens is a lot of speakers that are in the spiritual realm, or they're in the faith-based market, a lot of them get used up and spit out, but they are working professionals. Like, we just don't go to church and then you're in the ministry at church working your gift, and then you go to a professional job So you don't have, see, the thing about people don't understand is that you don't want to scare the money away. It doesn't mean that you still don't believe in God. It doesn't mean that you still don't believe in what you believe, but what I learned, and I did this before. See, I've done these things before in a corporate setting, and the meeting planner pulled me to the side and was, this is not cool. Rico, I remember, they took prayer out of school, right? I remember when that first happened, and I got a speaking engagement, and I had assembly with 700 kids in there, bro. I had all of them bowing their heads. And the guy told me afterwards and said, Kevin, it's okay because you got all of them to bow their heads. And I said a prayer with them, but he told me that we're not supposed to do that. And that's the reason why you do the pre-program questionnaire. And you got to ask these kind of questions prior to the engagement so you don't embarrass yourself. Bro, let me tell you something. I did a really bad example of what it's like to get your life threatened. And I held up my fist like this, and I put it up to a white woman's head like this.
Wow.
I don't know what I was thinking about, Rico, but it was a bad example that I used to get her. I was trying to do back when I still didn't know myself, I was trying to do like shock therapy, like Tony Robbins uses, to just get her attention, but it was a bad example. And it was in a corporate setting. The meeting planner blasted me, bro. And I never got hired back there again because the lady, she wrote it on her evaluation form. Only thing she saw was a black man on the 6 o'clock news. When you do these things, I've made these mistakes before. And when I share these things with you, all I'm telling you is you do not want to scare the money away, but at the same time, you are a working professional. And if you just highlight and showcase the professional side of what you do, you can build a whole brand and image with that. And then over here, you can still have the fact that you're a preacher or the fact that you're an apostle and you want to still want to be hired by religious organizations. See, here's what's going to happen anyway. You're going to get hired at a corporation, and somebody's going to see that light shining inside of you. They're going to pull you to the side and be like, hey, yo, we got a men's retreat, Rico. Do you speak at churches? You're going to be like, if the check is right, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's all business at the end of the day, but you just gotta pay attention and be sensitive to what's going to get you through the door. And that's all I want everybody to see. Don't lose your integrity for nobody, because that's what got you to the point where you are in life. And you got to lean on that. You got to show people the very best of whoever that you are. Look, I'm a believer. I realize I got a mouth on me, but this is the way I was raised. I'm a free spirit. I say whatever I feel. I don't care what the setting is. I'm not gonna be disrespectful to anybody, but I say what I feel. If people can't deal with it, that's just too bad. At least you're gonna get the facts.
But that's what people but that's what people need though. I think by you being 100, I mentioned that in the video, like what you're really talking about is it just comes down to this phrase. You just got to know when to do what. Exactly. And I think that is what hinders a lot of people in ministry, because they're only one-dimensional. It's not saying that it's not saying you love God any less.
Exactly.
It's just you're presenting. It's like what John Maxwell does, man. I mean, people don't know he's a pastor.
That's a prime example. Look, watch this though. See, like, people don't know that John Maxwell is a pastor, but John Maxwell is one of the foremost business experts in the history of professional speaking. He is one of the best that have ever done it. But he's definitely a man of God. Ain't no question about it. But his branding is the John Maxwell certification program. And when you think John Maxwell, you don't think pastor first, you think leadership first. Let me tell you why. Because that's the brand. See, that's a prime example of what happens right there. Believe me, bro, I struggled with that early on in my career. When I was in my younger days, I was running the street, hustling dope, pistol whipping crackheads, carrying a gun, acting like an animal, got locked up, went to church, got saved, was trying to go to church, got my gift consecrated. I wanted the church to back me to go out and sponsor this youth program that I was doing. They didn't do it. So I had to go out and start doing it myself. But I was so, I felt like I was just going through a spiritual awakening, bro. And back then you saw it reflected in the title to my book, the first book I wrote called The Clarity of Focus. You know, I had like a spiritual background with my book cover was with some clouds, you know, and that's just where I was back then. I didn't understand leadership, but I understood I was going through something spiritual, and I was not afraid to stand on that. But I tell you this, it kept me in the low fee market, and I just kept attracting them low fee engagements because of the way I was marketing myself. And when you get smarter about this, you're going to understand that you won't lose yourself. You will have the value for the person who is hiring you, and you understand what the objective is. And if that objective means putting the spirituality on the shelf so I can go get this money as a leadership speaker, then I think I can create a whole design, a curriculum without mentioning spirituality or God not one time and still be God-like. How about that?
Well, KTR, I'll say this and I'm done.
Yeah.
Look, people don't realize in the book of Esther, God's not even mentioned, but he's there.
Exactly.
So here's the thing. I found out as you're talking, you know, I wrote my first book, Your God-Given Identity. But as I was going through the programs, right? Signature programs, it hit me, man, I could do a book called Your Identity-Based Leadership.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like a compliment. It's like complimentary to the other one, but it gives a chance. It's like a door opener or a conversation starter for those who are in the association and corporate kind of market. So that's what I want to share with you, that by being a part of it, man, it really helped me see a whole nother side to professional speaking, which I really, honestly, I didn't even think professional speaking was this in depth. But you really taught me that. And so I'm eternally grateful. And I just wanted to let you know that.
Oh man, let me tell you something, Rico. That's why you're gonna be a high fee speaker, and you're gonna make an impact, because your level of authenticity that you have, brother, it's off the charts. And that right there is the first thing that I noticed about you when I got on the strategy call with you. You show us that every single week, man. Your support, your undying support is one of the staples on this platform, man. And we love you and we appreciate you much. And that's why we're always here for you, because we got to have these real conversations, Rico. If we're supposed to be brothers, if I'm supposed to be my brother's keeper, and you ask me a question and I don't help or support you in any way I can, see, the only thing I want everybody to do is just give your all to the person that's in front of you right here and right now. You worry about the next person on the next call or the next question you need to answer, but learn to give people your undivided attention and then vibe with them. That's how you create brotherhoods and sisterhoods. And that's why we got the kind of relationships that we do on the speakerfocus.com platform. I'm just showing you who I am on the inside. Like it or love it, I get results because I believe in serving people and then telling it to them like it is, because I realize in the marketplace that we're lacking that. And it just so happens to be the way I was raised. You think I'm quick with my tongue like this? You should, man. My mom still don't play.
You told me. You told me our moms are very similar. So
my mom is deadly with it. My mom is deadly with the words. She don't give a damn about none of this speaker focus stuff. She don't care about the celebrity insider stuff. Let me tell you something. My mother say jump, you better say how high, and you better be trying to figure out how to get her stuff done and taking care of her and making her number one, or it's gonna be a real problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother. I'm not gonna let my brother hear your voice until I'm finished.
Yeah, I know that's right. Hey, Rico, don't worry about it. We gonna tag team your brother one day, bro. We gonna get him. Don't worry about it. I got an older brother too.
Thanks so much, man.
Okay, man. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Man. I love it, man. I love it. Okay, everybody. Let me see. I think we got one more question, and then we if I don't see anybody else's hand up. Okay, we got Charlene, Giselle. I can't wait to hear Charlene and see what her update is. Charlene, talk to me. I think Michelle put her hand back up too. Michelle, I see your hand up. I'll be with you right after Charlene.
Hi, Ketia.
Hey, Charlene, how are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you fine.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm away on a trip with my partner, but I got out of bed in a rush thinking, oh, it's KTR. In the middle of the night, like, you're mad. But he loves me for it.
Good.
So I got up for you.
Good. I'm saying your dedication is unmatched, believe me.
for the group too. So just wanted to thank you for that. Can I shoot a couple of questions, please?
Sure, absolutely. Yep.
Awesome. So first question, the conference coordinator, which is really great, has come back to me and says they're just waiting for the confirmation from the client, but the client said that they want to film the event and asked me if that was okay. So I went into the toolkit that you asked to review, and I said that it would be okay for them to film, but I want to have access to the content and I want to be able to have that film.
Correct.
On that note, I just wanted to ask you, how does it work? Because obviously how does it work from a place of maybe like confidentiality of them not wanting me to have the right to the event? Like, how do you deal with things like that? For example, I want clips of the film, but maybe they don't want, me to release the film. Like at the end of the day, who owns the right over events?
Well, this is something that you should get in writing prior to, and you should put that in your agreement. You should get that. First of all, you do give express written consent that they can record you, but it also needs to be negotiated that you're going to get the raw footage. I always ask for the raw footage. To tell them to edit clips out for you is going to be a bit much. Get the raw footage, and then you take the raw footage and take the sound bites out of it that you like for your editor. But I believe that, let me see, the biggest client that I had that was the most difficult when it came to security and confidentiality and non-disclosures. We had that on both sides, but the NFL is really, really strict. You can't use their logo, their name, their likeness, and anything. They wanted to know why I wanted the video footage. They wanted to know why I wanted the pictures. They were not trying to let me have it, but it's something I had to negotiate. It was important to me. I did that gig for a lot less money, but I knew that when I got that client under my belt, it was going to help my business grow. And I stood on it hard. They did not want to give me, well, you know why? Because nobody else has ever asked for, they said, well, Kevin, nobody else has ever asked for their video footage before. I said, well, I'm not any speaker. And I want the footage. So what process are we going to have to go through to get that? Now watch this. They sent me the first DVD that they sent me because they forgot what the agreement said. It was coded. So I couldn't download the DVD and I couldn't download it like an MP4 file. It was like locked. They sent me a disc that was locked. So I had to call them back and say, hey, I need the footage on a disc that's not locked. I told you I wanted to use this footage. We agreed, and they sent me the pictures as well. They sent them over in the file. They sent them over in the folder, and I got my footage. So you have to agree on it. Make sure that if there's a confidentiality agreement involved, make sure you read it. I always include an NDA. There's an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, on the back end of your speaker engagement agreement. Why? Because we're dealing with intellectual and creative properties on both sides. You want to be protected. You want the client is going to send you over a document. Sometimes you're going to have instances where they are going to want you to sign their agreement, and you're going to get them to sign your agreement because they feel more comfortable if you sign their agreement. It's going to be a bunch of stuff and it's just going to be ridiculous. But is it something you can tolerate without compromising your integrity? The bottom line, as long as you get the video footage, I don't care how you got to word it. Make sure you get the raw file. Don't ask them to do a bunch of editing. Put that in your agreement. You got it?
Okay. So they're used to speaker asking for the film or the videos. Like that's not something they would find odd.
Well, the NFL and Pittsburgh Steelers and Heinz Field found it odd that I would ask for my video footage, but I wanted it because I knew what I was going to do with it for post-production. And they said, let me tell you something. I can't tell you the millions of dollars that I've made off of that footage alone. The number one converting picture. And if I wouldn't have asked for it, I would let it float away. Watch what would have happened. Let me see. I believe it was our Facebook ad that we have up. It's a picture of me standing on top of the Pittsburgh Steelers logo. Remember, I am the only trainer in the history of Heinz Field, Pittsburgh Steelers NFL franchise, to do a training inside the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room. that one picture with me standing on top of the logo is the most highly converting picture for our ad in the history of our ad campaign for Facebook. And that's the reason why you need to get your video footage, because you don't know which one of those clips is going to convert at a very high level to help you market your speaker business later down the line. I can't tell y'all this stuff enough. See, I'm not telling you because I'm creating illusions in my head. I'm telling you because I've been through it before. You've got to become skilled. Ms. Charlene, you're an attorney.
No, I know, but because I'm so focused on confidentiality, perhaps because I was trained for it, and I know that corporate clients just don't really like the name mentioned. Like all the law firms I've been working with so far, they don't even want me to say publicly who I work with or that I work with them. And it's just, it makes it hard for my own brand because I can't talk about who my clients are. So,
well, okay. So guess what? You don't need to talk. Don't make mention when you do your presentation. Don't make mention of the client in the video. If it's in there in the beginning, after you exchange pleasantries and do your introduction, then leave it alone. But you still did a presentation. You can still show proof that you have been speaking. You can still get pictures and video without mentioning the client at all.
Right. Okay. Well, I was just worried that it would fall out because I haven't heard back from them since then. That was last Monday night, actually, after our call. And ever since I asked for that, they just haven't gotten back to me.
Okay. Well, they're probably going to try to clear through their legal department, which takes some time. That happens. You know, the Steelers had to take me through the same exact thing. They'd take me through all this red tape, but just be patient and hang in there. Now, if it's a deal breaker, see, it wasn't a deal breaker. I thought it was going to be a deal breaker, but they came back and said, okay, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. All the things you're asking for, hotel, flight, meal per diem, ground transportation, incidentals, they approved every last bit of it. They sent it through. They got my purchase order approved. They cut me a check for 50% of the deposit. Once it was over, they adhered to the agreement. They sent me over the pictures and they sent me over the disc. They sent me over DVD and I manipulated the footage from there. So,
okay.
Like I said, don't, try not to stress out about it. You're going to get more speaking engagements, especially as your brand starts growing. You're going to get asked to come speak at other conferences. Right now, you seem to be focused on training, and training is a lot of money on the table when it comes to training, especially all throughout the UK and abroad. But you're going to get asked to speak other places where you're not even going to have to deal with that. So don't worry about it, okay?
Okay. That's great. And how long do you think it's fair to wait until I send the conference coordinator a nudge or a reminder just to check in?
What I would do is I would send a soft reminder probably tonight or either tomorrow morning and just say, hey, it's Charlene Giselle. I'm just checking back in on the status of the question about the video. So you're holding them accountable. It would be most appreciated if that could happen, and then put a note in there. I don't have to make mention of the company. I just want the footage of the program that I'm teaching, just to post up on my website for marketing purposes, but I don't have to mention the company name. You can put something like that in there. Then you can also put in there that this, if this in any way is going to disrupt us from moving forward, this is not a deal breaker. Please advise. You see, something like that. You can just, you just be honest with them and let them know how you feel. You want to keep the client to you as close as possible at all times. Remember, communication equals negotiation. The more you're communicating with them, the more they're communicating with you. You're negotiating, and eventually it's going to all come to a close. The one who is better at it is going to get the deal done, and that's what a speaker must know how to do. You have to know how to negotiate. This is a deal you're putting together. So this is why we love helping you put together the deal so you can close it. So the video shouldn't make or break it. If it's gonna break us getting our money, then obviously we don't worry about that. We get the video footage on the next go round. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. And then can I ask you another quick question?
Sure.
I had a new inquiry, which is really great for another conference coordinator for my program.
Good for you.
Thank you. That was really good. But so it's a really, really, really large corporation. I know them very well. We have like past in common, but basically they want a sample session, i.e. not pay for it. And they'll have 500 of their staff joining. And depending on the feedback, which they'll collect from those 500 C-suite members, they would then roll out my program to between 5,000 to 10,000 people. How do you deal with that?
Okay, first of all, the upside for that is very huge. So there are instances where you're going to do a presentation like that. I had to do that to get the Pittsburgh Steelers and close them for Heinz Field and NFL. I had to give a test run for the executive team. They loved it and they greenlit the whole thing so I could come in and do the presentation right there inside the locker room. They had a meet and greet for me. They had a barbecue for me. I did the tour of the stadium, the whole 9 yards. See, it was worth me taking less for what's on the other side. That is, you have 500 C-suite plus employees. Okay. Now, that means that you're talking about executive level. Those are exactly the type of people you want to be servicing with your signature programs. So my thing is do it, right? I believe the upside for you to do it and give them a sample of it. And then also too, is this going to be a Zoom? Are you going to give video footage of this?
Yeah, it's Zoom. They want to record it, but they basically, like, their expectation is the sample being for free.
Okay, well, okay, so it's fine. If you're going to give it to them for free, you're getting content out of it. Make sure that your presentation is very, very tight. Practice your ass off before you do it. Knock it out the park, and then wait for the feedback. The beautiful part is you're going to have 500 people turning in comments to the meeting planner who put it all together. And if they like it, they need to be, watch this, they need to be prepared to pay the next time. They're going in, you need to understand. I would love to build a relationship with your organization. I believe in what it is that you're doing, but understand, after this, if you want to hire me after the presentation and you get the kind of feedback and I can show you some real results, understand the next time that you deal with me, there's going to be a fee associated with that. Do you understand?
Right. Okay.
You need to let them know right up front, right? So they can be prepared, because the thing about it is I'm not even worried about you not getting the business because you're good at what you do. See, when you're good at what you do, you don't have to worry about that. I'll give you a little sample, no problem. How much time do they want? Half an hour? What do they want you to do?
They want half an hour presentation and half an hour dealing with panel question on the go to see how I answer questions on the go.
Oh, please. When the upside is huge. Listen, I do 20 plus strategy calls every single day for 15 minutes to a half an hour. I give away more free information than anybody else in my space, but I convert leads at a very, very high level. Sometimes you gotta look at some of these situations when it's worth it. You're going to get in there to deliver 500 C-suite employees. Hey, I feel like it's worth it.
Okay.
And guess what? And sometimes when you keep growing at the level that you are, you're not going to have to be doing this 2 years from now, a year from now, 6 months from now, because when your calendar's full, so we don't have to entertain doing stuff for free. Me, I don't have to do it because my calendar is full with paid opportunities. But right now, you're creating momentum around your speaker business, and you should do it. I'm recommending that you do it because it sounds like that's a great client to be able to have, and you'll knock it out the box. You're going to get that business, and we're going to help you put together that deal as well. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds great. And then if we do get across that line, I was looking at your price for the toolkit, but could there ever be a reflection of the fact that there may be up to 5,000 people? Like, do you ever change the fees according to how huge the audience is, or are fees always the same?
No, the fees are always the same. It doesn't matter to me how many people that they have in there. They're going to try that on you sometimes. Well, it's only going to be 10 executives in here. It doesn't matter. My fees are fees. It doesn't matter if you put me in front of 10,000 people, 5,000 people at an Avon convention, or for a sales convention or something, or I'm just training the executive team with 10 executives in there. It doesn't matter. The fees are the fees. Don't get that misconstrued. A lot of speakers, they have all these different set fees. That's how it's too confusing.
Right.
When you have to take less, go to the speaker negotiating menu and make sure you get something of value if you have to take less. There's all kinds of times when you have to take less. Sometimes the company just flat out doesn't have it, but they're still willing to play ball. Listen, Kevin, I can only get approved on 35,000. We cannot get you approved on the 50. Okay, no problem. Well, I'm losing $15,000. So some kind of way I got to get the value, and believe me, I'm going to get my value for the $15,000. And that may come in the way of 3 referrals. That may be taking a picture over at the conference banner and the signage. That may be getting 3 handwritten testimonial letters. That may be getting pictures with the executive team, the footage, pictures, and I may require a booth for the conference with the valuation of $800, $900, whatever the case. I'm getting my return on my investment.
Okay.
But I'm not walking away from 35,000. My fee is 50,000. I wouldn't walk away from 35,000. But there's other ways to get the value. See, if you know how to work it the right way, you can still put together other deals and put another speaking engagement in play and you can leverage that off of something else if you know how to do it the right way. This is why we're here, to show you how to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I say yes for the sample. That's really awesome. And then I had another lead. So this week was a bit on fire.
Look at you.
And it was the dean for a school that I know very well. And I'm really, really excited. Conversation was awesome, but after the fee, they seem a lot cooler, not cooler in a good way, cooler in the way going cold. Are schools expecting you to speak for free for students? Am I just getting this wrong? Because I assume that schools had a budget. Is this like, do schools expect you to be a free speaker?
Yes, the youth market, anytime you're speaking to schools, I always tell people, I have a little joke, the closer you get to Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, when you speak at some of these schools that's in the inner city, they're simply not going to have a budget. Or they're going to ask you to come speak for free or very low fee. And a lot of high schools, again, they're a different kind of municipality, and you're dealing with budget restraints and constraints that are unreasonably low sometimes. So you have to watch what you're doing. If you're going to speak to a school, we do have a philanthropic arm. I have a KTR mentorship program. I teach young people how to work the red carpet at celebrity events. I teach them entrepreneurial skills, but there's ways that I give back to the community. I used to do high schools and middle schools and stuff like that when I was a lot younger, but I don't do it anymore because I just don't have the time. There's the other kind of speakers that they can hire to go do that. You should specialize in one target market. I used to do a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, Katie, I'm sorry. This is not a school for children. This is a business school that I work with.
Oh, this is a business school.
My business. That's why I was surprised. I know them very well, and their fees are crazy high for their students every year. Like I know that.
Okay, I apologize. I missed that. Yeah. I missed that. I apologize. Thanks for clearing that up. Okay,
no, so they're interested in my corporate program for their students.
What kind of school is it?
Like banking and corporate MBAs and all of that.
Okay, well, guess what? That's high level. That's still C-suite type of employees. You're still bringing a lot to the game. They need to be paying you for that. Okay. And if they're not paying you, there's got to be a really good upside of why you're going to do that engagement like you're going to do for the other corporation. And if you don't feel that it has a large upside early in your career before you start booking a lot of speaking engagements, see, right now you can entertain stuff like that because you don't have a lot of activity. Once your activity picks up, I mean, your best friend is going to be, no, I can't come do it. The reason why I can't come do it, and watch this, clients may say, well, we have other speakers that will do it for less. Well, guess what? I have clients that will pay more. So why am I taking less? See, you have to learn to deal with rebuttals, and you have to learn to deal with people and be confident in your professional deliverables and what you bring to the table. Remember, Ms. Giselle, you are a high-level business professional. You are an attorney. You are very, very smart. You got a high business IQ. You put together some killer signature programs, and you're bringing massive amount of value. That is what they're paying for. If they were so good at what they're doing, they'd be figuring it out themselves. But the fact of the matter is they can't do it. It's not their skill set. And that's why they need to bring in an outside contractor, a consultant, a specialist, a coach, a speaker, a subject matter expert, a leading authority, and a trusted advisor. And that's exactly who you are.
Makes sense. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You got any other questions?
No, it was awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, enjoy your time. away and
I'll go back to bed.
yeah, exactly. Get some rest.
It's okay. He already thinks I'm nuts. No problem.
Oh, it's okay. Listen, I'm sure he respects your hustle and all your hard work ethic. So, you got any other questions? Don't keep us abreast of what's going on, and submit support tickets if you need to in between the Monday
Okay.
call. Okay.
Okay, I will do. Thank you.
Okay, Sean. Love you much. Talk to you real soon. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I believe we got. Wait a minute. We got a couple other people in here. We have. We got. Okay, Wayne. Maybe his audio is working better now. Michelle, I see your hand went up, and Lisa, you're probably going to be the last question for the night, unless anybody else has some. Because I can go all night long. How about that? Let me see. Let me lower Charlene's hand. Just give me a quick second. I appreciate everybody being patient. Wayne, let's try this again. Wayne, are you there?
Yes, Coach, I'm here.
Wayne, there it is right there. Okay, Wayne, I'm all ears, brother. Talk to me.
Yeah, it was a rough time trying to get that information to you. And so
Oh
that
man,
you could,
the access. But you know what? I did see the video that you sent me, and did you get my comments about it?
I did see that just before I came on the call.
Yeah, man. You did a great job, man. You know, you had command over content. You know, you look real sharp in your suit. It was a talking head shot. I believe that. Now, if you wanted to, now that's not your final speaker video demo, correct? That was just a sample.
Right.
Yeah. Well, guess what? If you wanted to, you could take clips from the sample video that you did. So you know what I like about what you did, Wayne? It may have taken you a long time to turn it in, but you know what you did? You did a full-blown dress rehearsal.
Right.
You did. I mean, bro, you could have did that in a t-shirt, but you put the suit on. You sat there with a white background, and you knocked it out the park. I loved everything about it. You were flowing. You know what I loved about it too, Wayne? You didn't overthink it, and all of it just was organic, bro. And I could tell that you did read off of something for the bullets. Now, I did see your eyes kind of cut back and forth a couple times, but it wasn't anything that was too disturbing. So this is the purpose of memorizing the signature programs. So you can watch this. Put the bullet up there.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne, there's teleprompter, a teleprompter app you can get in your phone or your tablet, and you can download the teleprompter app and put your verbiage or your text inside of there. Put the speed on like probably a 5 or a 6. Let the words go up in the screen, and you read the words as they're going across the screen. It won't look like your eyes are moving.
Okay.
You could do that. Or you could just hold up a piece of paper, like right there at the top of the camera, with the title to your signature program, and then you just talk about your signature program from your heart.
Okay.
And you know how to do that, Wayne. You did it on the group call before. You got any other questions?
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Now,
Yes,
do
sir.
you want all of the signature programs when we get this ready to go onto the website? Do you want it in the same way the template of the signature program itself, or can we just do it in a different way? I mean, like just on that one, all I sent you was the title of the program and maybe just one bullet or something like that after the title. Now, what sequence and how much of it do you want us to prepare for? Or you know what I mean?
Okay, now watch this. It's going to be, send me a support ticket and remind me to send you examples of students who are crushing it on our platform. If I haven't done that already, I'll send it to you. So you don't have to worry about trying to look for it on the platform. I will send you the examples of what a good speaker video demo looks like, of plenty of examples. Look at many and get some ideas. You can really do it any kind of way you want to, Wayne. You can either say my mainstay headline is, or no, my name is Wayne and I teach. What's your mainstay headline again, Wayne?
Leadership concepts that erase limits.
That erase limits. Okay, so now after that, you can go into, hey, one of my signature programs is entitled, and you can give an overview, and then the signature program should flash across the screen. And you can give an overview about that. You can talk about 2 or 3 bullets, and then you can go right into another one of my signature programs. Really will help out with a sedentary lifestyle, and that is called Boom. Another one of my signature programs is going to help out with employee engagement, and that signature program is Boom. See, if you make it about what's going on right now and being up to date with all this diversity inclusion stuff. If that ties into your signature program, then you should rock with that. You should really integrate the reason why we can create more employee engagement, the reason why we can communicate better, the reason why we can fix this brokenness that's happening right now in the world. These signature programs are the remedy to the dysfunction that your organization is suffering from in the workplace. And I love to create partnerships with you in order to do that. Damn, Wayne, I'm just the best you've ever seen, man.
Yes, and I just want to, you know what, and on that point, I just want to say everything that my peers have been saying tonight about you and Austin, as I've written to you before. You guys are so, you're the real deal. You're there. You know, you're not here and there, but you're there. You're consistent, and you do care, and you deliver. You over deliver on what you said you would do. And I appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much, brother. I love you so much, man. Give my best to Carol.
I sure will.
And listen, I feel your confidence growing. And again, it's a slow walk, just like I told Eileen a little early in the call. She's going slow, but she's getting that work done. And I feel her confidence growing. And I see the same thing happening with you. You did an outstanding job delivering your signature programs, Wayne. Just keep doing more of what you're doing and keep turning in the work. You are way past all those hurdles that you went over, brother. And I'm so proud of you, man.
Listen, I do have one more question, Coach.
Yeah.
When I'm ready to put this, I'm looking. In fact, I'm looking at Webflow right now because I got the website. We're working on it. When I'm ready to put this onto the website, the video, the demos, for when I'm ready to do that, is there a page? Is there a page that we put these all on and they can run from start to finish, or is there a way that we just do it partially and in segments, or how's that supposed to work? How's that going to work on the website?
On the website with your signature programs?
Yes.
Yeah, well, what you're going to do is you're going to put all 4 of the signature programs up there. If you want to put it's a drop-down menu, or you want to show more, I'd put like a part of the opening paragraph on there. You can put maybe a couple of bullets, or if you want to, you can just put a couple of bullets up there to describe the signature programs. I've
already done that on the front page because I got all 4 signature programs. But I'm talking about when we do is there a place for the videos on here?
Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely. There's a place you're gonna see in the Webflow template. You're gonna see a box for my speaker video demo. All you gotta do is take mine out and put yours in, and that's what the speaker demo goes.
All right. Same
thing with the speaker info kit. Plug it in where it's supposed to go. Launch it. If you got any technical issues, submit a support ticket to support@speakerfocus.com. Austin and the tech team will get it all straightened out for you.
All right. And at some point, I can ship this over to you and let you take a good look at it and critique it and so on.
Absolutely. I'm gonna be here to critique it all because you want to do that with a barrier to entry before you show it to the conference coordinator. That's for damn sure, because we want to make sure that it's right.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Coach.
Keep working hard, Wayne. You're getting there, brother. You're getting there.
Right.
Great job. Peace.
Thank you.
Okay. Lisa, and then Michelle. Lisa Almond Baldwin. I love saying your name. Hey, Lisa.
Everybody tells me that because it's so long and it's sing-songy, but whatever.
yeah. Hey, Lisa, that's why I just call me KTR, because people would ask me what my name was. I remember I used to say the whole thing. My name is Kevin Tremell Robertson. They'd be like, wow, okay, that's you use your middle name. Then I was like Kevin T. Robertson. And then hey, just shortened it up. But go ahead.
Right. So thank you for helping me on that proposal to the bank that I had the first strategy call with last Wednesday, and then I have the follow-up one with her this coming Wednesday. So I'll let you know how that goes. So thank you for helping me with that.
You're very welcome.
So this is a quick question. It's kind of a follow-up to what Charlene was asking you, but she was asking you in terms of trying to get the video from somebody and how long to wait to follow up with them. So my question is, if I've had a first strategy call with somebody and either I've had the second strategy call with them, or maybe for some reason I couldn't get them to commit to the second one, how long to wait to follow up after that? So let's say I had the first and second one with them and they have all of my information and then they're going to take it back to their board.
Right.
How long to wait? Or if I couldn't get them to commit to the second one for whatever reason, still to follow up. Is it still kind of like what you were telling Charlene, maybe a week or so, saying, is there anything that more questions you have or any, how would I language that?
Okay. So I'm going to answer this in two parts. The second part, I'm going to need you to send a support ticket to Austin, and that's going to deal with automation. So automation is going to automatically, we call them, this is the verbiage that I want you to put in there for Austin and the tech team.
Okay.
I want you to reference it, email drip sequence.
Okay.
It's called an email drip sequence, like drip, like water dripping.
Okay.
And what happens is the automation will send out one email. If they don't reply, then it's a certain amount of days, and you can set it right there in your CRM to do it all. It'll follow up with a second email. Hey, I was wondering if you already talked to your team or whatever it is. If they don't respond to that one, it sends them out another one. A lot of times what'll happen, people be like, oh my God, it went into the spam folder. Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa, I didn't see this message. See, the automation will do that for you. So you gotta know how to set that up. Also,
Okay.
point you in the right direction to do that. Lisa, if I'm not mistaken, you use an active campaign, is that right?
Right.
Okay, so he will tell you how to set up the email follow-up sequence, the automation for that. And now these are going to be pre-scripted message that you're going to put in there. This is all part of your autoresponder campaign. Somebody opts in to schedule a call with you. That's the first strategy call. The second one, if they don't follow up with you, is an email that goes out to say, hey, did you get a chance to look at the speaker video demo? Did you get a chance to meet with your board members? So you can customize all this language on the follow-up sequences. Austin will run that down to you and tell you how that works.
Okay, so then that means, so let's say, for example, that the autoresponder was set for, I'm just making it up, but set for a week after the appointment I had with them. But yep. I talked to them in the middle. So there's a way for me to go in there and make sure they don't get that one because they did contact me, right?
Correct. And
okay.
you can go in there and mark it in your CRM. It's all these different columns that strategy call attended, strategy call no-show.
Okay.
The deal was won. The deal was lost. You can go in and mark it. They said, hey, Lisa, reach back out to me in 2 months. You mark a specific date on the calendar. Remember, a deadline is a forcing system of accountability.
Right.
Your job when you speak to that meeting planner is to say, hey, Ms. Johnson, let me see if I got this correct. What's a great day to follow up with you? And you want to recommend the dates. Would Thursday, the 27th work best? Or would Tuesday, the 30th work best for you? Whatever the case is, right? So you want to be able to suggest a date when they say, oh no, Lisa, I'm going to be on holiday. I'm not going to be able to do it. And then you pick a date together and you follow up with them. If the automation doesn't get them, then what happens is some of the clients you're going to be engaged with in the auto, you're not going to need to send them automation because you're going to be in communication with them. But you may have 100 clients in your CRM and they do need automation.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
Remember, build a list. Your list is an asset. Your list is an asset. Eventually, you're going to have thousands of names in that list and you need to send out an email to them. We send out an email every single Monday to our list. We got literally hundreds of thousands of people on our list. So we send it out every Monday. That equals strategy calls. People want to know how to get on my calendar. They respond to that off of an email that we send out. You're going to be doing the same exact thing to your clients. So you're going through the stage right now where you're going to need how to put together those autoresponders and that verbiage. You can write out the verbiage. We can help you tweak it and customize it. Remember, you have to test it, see what works in your market, give us the feedback like you're doing right now, and then we're going to tweak it and put it back out there until it's performing at a high level.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, great. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, Lisa, wait a minute. It's a two-parter to that question. The first part is all this stuff for Austin. The first part is if on the call, when you set up the accountability with the meeting planner and you pick an actual date, most of them are not going to want to do it. And this is how you can always tell when a person is not interested, because they don't ever want to commit to a follow-up date. You know why? Because they don't plan on looking at your sales tools. But the way to get them to look at the sales tools is to pick an actual date. Put a push pin on the calendar and say, the reason why, you're not going to tell them I want to get the engagement. The reason for the follow-up call, Ms. Johnson, is I just want to get your opinion about the sales tools.
Right. And that's what I did. That's what I did with this one with the bank. That was my first one. I told her, like you said, what I would be sending her, which is my speaker info kit, my video link, and also I forget what the last thing was. And
website link.
Yeah, and website link, that's what it was. And then I said to her, and I looked ahead of time to see what days, and I asked her, and I said, just like you said, would this day be better or would this day be better? And then we picked it together. Okay.
She chose the day.
You're saying if they're reluctant, just kind of push more the thing about the reason why I want to do that is to see if you have any other questions.
Exactly. There's a reason why I want to follow up. And listen, and you could just tell them like this. Listen, I like to be able to get to the yes or no as quickly as possible, Ms. Johnson. That way we're cut down on a lot of back and forth. It doesn't waste your time. It doesn't waste mine. If we're going to do, if we're a potential good fit for each other, it's important to me that you look at the sales tools. See, for me, it's easy because I do it all the time. I've done it thousands of times, but that's why you want to go back and look at the video, because the exact verbiage that I'm using, this is how I talk to these conference coordinators. You have to talk to them with a level of confidence, and you have to out negotiate them, Lisa. This is how you close a deal. They typically, a meeting planner doesn't possess a high level of skill when it comes to negotiating. And if your level of skill is higher than theirs, then you're going to be able to deal with rebuttals. You're going to be able to deal with them blowing you off. You're going to be able to deal with it all because you're going to know exactly what's happening. And this is why we have to have these kind of conversations, because if you don't ask me these questions, you're never going to learn.
Right. Okay. All right.
But you're out into the marketplace. You're doing outreach and you're having calls with the meeting planner. And that's the reason why you get the feedback. Share the feedback with us. You're doing a great job. You're going to crush it. Keep us posted, okay?
All right. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Okie dokie. Very welcome.
Okay.
Talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. Okay. Okay, Michelle Arnold Michelle, you got one more question, I believe. Michelle's double back. Yes, ma'am, I do hear you.
Okay, yeah, so this is my last question. I'm gonna leave you be because the sister's hungry. But actually, I think Charlene asked the question that I was gonna ask you about when you talked about the youth market.
Yes.
And just how profitable is it to do that? And the reason why I asked that, because when I shared with you earlier that someone had asked me about doing a workshop for youth, it's actually my teammate, and he had asked me would I do that. And the problem is that there's no way to pay me. And while I love kids, I don't know that I want to commit, you know what I mean, make a long-term commitment to work with them over the summer. And I'm not getting paid at all. I mean, you can pat me on the back and thank me and all that great stuff, and that's great. However, it takes a lot of time because you do have to prepare and all that other good stuff. And so, you know, working out one day, he said, I think you would be great to work with our young people to teach them about speaking. And I've thought about it. I remember doing this for my oldest nephew years ago when he was like in 4th grade. And there was this one little boy, he had all these great questions. And he was like, well, how can I be a good speaker? I mean, he spoke so well. And I could just talk to him all day long. But if you're saying that this market really doesn't have the funding to pay you, I'm not going to say it's not good to do it, but you know, I just wanted to get your take on branching into that market.
Breaking into
make it work for you.
To the youth market, speaking to kids. Okay. I have many speakers that I know that have had a lot of success in the youth market. Julie Lapley is a friend of mine. She does very well in the youth market. I think the most she got paid to speak at she got paid to speak in front of 10,000 people. I think she got paid $10,000 to speak at a huge leadership conference for kids. So I would say that if you are speaking at an education conference, if you're speaking to bigger school districts, if you are speaking to, there are tons of leadership conferences for kids globally. If you speak at those kind of events, they will have a budget to pay you the $5,000. They will bring in celebrity speakers. They will have a budget. The bigger organizations do. Now, obviously it's uber competitive to be able to get in. And that's why you have to have the right kind of sales tools and everything. And you gotta outmarket everybody. The speakers that get the most money are the ones that's better at marketing. That's what we're teaching you on the speakerfocus.com platform. Now, that being said, you have got to stay away from the small community centers. All of the schools in the inner city, the municipality, their budget is already stretched. They barely got money for books, so they're not going to be able to pay a speaker. That's just the way it is. Now, if you want to stay in the youth market, I know a speaker friend of mine, he got a life sentence commuted, and he wrote a book. It's like a manual, a life manual. He wrote a book called Crime Does Pay. But then he talked about the price that you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna get away with it, but it's the price you gotta pay. So anyway, he got out, wrote this workbook and everything. He gets $2,500 to go speak at schools. Now, he doesn't feel like he needs to charge him a lot of money, but his calendar stays full of speaking engagements for $2,500. But it's a specific school districts that he's speaking in who can afford to pay that. And those are the bigger school districts that have the bigger budgets. Me, I got tired of getting paid $2,500. I got tired of them rolling up on a check with me with $750, $500, $250. It was just too inconsistent. And then on top of that, they want to pay me after services or render. I would do 3 assemblies, speak my tongue out of my head. My third performance was not like my first performance. I was out there freestyling, rapping with the band, the marching band, everything. We was getting down. And all I got was $750. But I had to wait to get that money. And I was exhausted when I got paid. So there's a way to do it. And in closing, I'm going to tell you this. If you've written a book about kids, if you specialize and you have an affinity for kids, I mean, that's your niche. If all you do is speak to kids, you can earn more money. But see, when you're a generalist, they can hire anybody to come in to speak for some kids and pay them $250. But when you really specialize in it, that means you've written a book, you got a training course, you got a manual or something, and that's all you do is speak about kids. And that's your vision and your mission. Those are the speakers that make the most money in the youth market.
Okay, got it.
Not the ones that speak in the corporate market, and then they want to say, oh, if a school calls me, I'm gonna go over there and do it. I say no to everybody except for the corporations and associations. I don't speak to schools. I don't speak in the faith-based market. I don't do any government contracting anymore because the most they ever pay me was $6,000. My fee's not $6,000, it's $50,000. I don't speak at any more colleges. I've done enough of them. I've done enough student orientations. I've done enough high school graduations. I've done enough college graduations where I got to sit there with all the dignitaries and everybody, and I'm the keynote speaker, and I got to wait through all of that. You just get tired of doing all of that. I don't have to put up with none of that in the corporate and association market. It's just my preference. That's why I found legs in my career, and that's when I turned into a superstar in the corporate or association market. My Tell It Like It Is style, they loved it. They couldn't get enough of it, and it's more work in that market than you can work all year long. Remember, I used to average 100 tour days a year. The most I've ever done in 2007 was 152 tour days internationally. And believe me, I wasn't never home.
Wow. Okay.
It's possible. It's possible. Once you get on fire and you find your niche, you just got to keep on growing in that niche. But flip-flopping and flim-flamming back and forth from market to market, just gonna look like a generalist. That's why I tell people, if you're gonna be in one market, be in one market. And then drill down in that market. Don't try to go real wide. Don't try to cast the net out wide. Pick one market, drill down real deep, and just keep going. All you're gonna do is get a stranglehold on it, and you're gonna dominate that market.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. I just wanted to get clarity on that. And like you say, you're right. I don't think that's something I want to spend my whole time doing. Not that I don't want to talk to young people, because some of them, when they open their mouths, I just want to shake them. But, I don't want that to necessarily be my overall niche, and then I'm stuck there.
But you know what? Yeah, exactly. No, it does make sense. But you know what? In closing, you could always do a leadership topic. The kids may not have money to purchase a course on how to effectively communicate, but their parents do.
Ah, okay.
You see? So
Yeah.
that's your and I want to help everybody understand this, because I believe I heard somebody say it early in the call and I didn't correct them. But it's the target market are the areas that you can earn money, the arenas you can earn money speaking, the youth market, faith-based, government contracting, college and university, corporate and association market. That's the target market. Target audience are the people that are in your audience who are receiving your message. Those are your conference goers and conference attendees, or employees or staff that are attending your seminar or your workshop or your breakout session or your track session or your executive coaching session or your keynote or your half day or your full day program. Now, your the other thing is going to be you want to be able to make sure that all of the services that you deliver is gonna make sense, and it's all gonna flow together. So make sure that you specialize in one topic, pick a market, stay in that market. Remember, generalists don't earn a lot of money. Specialists do.
Got it.
You got it? And the parents have the money to pay for the kids' program. So you can market your communication program for kids. You could offer that as a bundle package if you want. You could do one for the adults and you could do one for the kids. They'll buy the one for the kids because they know they need it in the workplace as well. And you can sell all of them. You could do a shrink wrap package for like $197 if you like.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Let me know if you need some more help.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, Michelle. Bye. Okay, everyone. We're going to wrap this call up. This has been a long one today, and it has been well worth it. I want to thank everybody for sharing. Sharing is definitely caring on the speakerfocus.com platform. I want to thank you for, having patience with me as I was trying to get my setting together by the pool. Sometimes things don't work out as you want them to, and you still got to jump in there and roll with it anyway. I want to thank you for all of the people who turned in testimonial videos that we requested and from you. And thank you for the kind words, all the hard work that you're putting in. I see your confidence growing. I see the support tickets coming in. And you just keep us posted with what's going on. Keep booking those speaking engagements. Keep organizing those signature programs. Keep getting those sales tools together and keep working on your automation and keep answering questions. Remember, I want to point something out too real quick. Lisa is to a point in her career, and this is a great example. She keeps growing like every single week. She's learning to incorporate new strategies of how she should be doing the outreach to the conference coordinator. That email drip sequence is important. The automation is important. This is the reason why speakers are sitting home with an empty calendar, because they don't have a machine. What we're teaching you how to do is build a machine. Keep learning and keep growing, because I don't promise it to you. I guarantee you, you keep putting in the hard work, you will be a high fee speaker. That's a guarantee. Talk to you real soon.